Today's A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan podcast is brought to you by
Hollaback's German Restaurant in Sanford.
Man, oh man.
I mean, if you're looking for an awesome experience for dinner, Hollaback's is your place. Delicious German cuisine. Plus, if you bring your family, they got great kids' meals.
They really do.
You know, it's not just German food for the kids. It's like, you know, grilled cheese, goldfish, gummy bears.
They just do a really nice job with it. The entertainment, the way it looks, the traditional German recipes, the Bavarian beers. You've got the market. You can go there and shop. You can get to-go meals. You've got Uberkeller, which is a small plates concept that they have now that's really, really cool. And then, if you really want to elevate everything to, you know, top tier, you can go out for Krampus Fest and go out there and, like, really celebrate the holidays. And I'm telling you, it's a better vibe. It's better than going to the mall. It's like got that real German Christmas vibe.
Yeah.
Krampus shows up. Santa's there.
Krampus Fest is December 5th, but Daniel's right. There'll be people dressed as Krampus. They're going to have Krampus out there. They have a Krampus beer that night.
All the beer, all the desserts, all the delicious schnitzel and spatzel.
And their beer garden on the second floor, the Uberkeller's up there. It's kind of like a tapas-style German cuisine. And you get a free schnapps in every gift bag at the Beer Fest.
Yeah, man.
So it's a perfect excuse to go up to Uberkeller and get some tapas food and beers.
Holiday parties. You can, you're probably late on that. I mean, if you better call them if you want to get that done. Catering, they cater. If you want to bring it to you. It's the best German restaurant I have ever been to, and we love them, and we're so proud that they sponsor us. It's Hollaback's German Restaurant. Check them out at hollabacks.com.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Yes, sir! It is another Friday free show of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
On the couch from the Orlando Talk Show with him, comedian, triviaman, workoutman, lover of all things the weekend. It is Ross McCoy.
Hey, guys.
The weather is
the weather outside is right.
Rolled through.
Yeah.
So tomorrow at the Beer Fest and so and such is going to be nice. And nice and cool. No rain.
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
You guys booked Blind Melon?
I wish. I know. Without Shannon, though. I don't know what happened to him.
Which, by the way, if this weather would have rolled through during our events, I would have given up. I would have.
Yeah.
I don't have the wherewithal to then say, all right, we'll just do it again in a couple weeks.
I've seen glimmers.
I'll be like, that's it.
Have I not seen glimmers of that this week? I've seen a few breaking points. I've seen a few I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
A couple of them.
What are you basing your forecast on? Because I think the old saying in Florida is, don't base your suicide on the weather.
Well,
I've never heard that before, but I like it.
This whole horrible rain front is basically done today.
Yeah.
And then, so we're not, but I mean, it rained bad. I know that, like schools were closed down in South Florida and stuff.
Oh, really?
My buddy,
What?
Yeah, because of
For
flooding.
rain? Oh, flooding. Okay.
Yeah. And me and Crystal were laughing about that
Come on,
yesterday.
every kid in South Florida has a paddle boat.
Dude, me and Crystal remember when we were in middle school, we went to school during a tropical storm. Like
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
I did too.
like it was a tropical
I did
storm
too.
happening, and they're like, "All right,
Yeah.
there's not a hurricane to
Yeah.
get to school."
I remember tropical storm. We went to school, then intensified the next day. Hurricane, then they canceled it. But we were in school.
If you guys say you had to swim uphill both ways, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Well,
It's perfect.
because that's the thing. It's like
swimming uphill is not harder.
It's not about that we are tougher or we're like a tougher society. It's
They
about
cared less about kids back then.
no, no one had information. It was impossible to get out. You know, so like,
It was all phone calls. Like you would get a phone call when school was canceled. They would call your house.
yeah, but it would be.
I didn't have a house phone.
We used to have to listen to the radio. Like the radio would
Really?
like announce it, like
No, I
a
remember
half hour before
my
school
mom
or
had
whatever.
she had like a yellow, white Unidyne cordless, the old Unidyne cordless, yellow probably from cigarette smoke. Cordless phone, and it would ring, and it would the red light would blink, and you'd know it was ringing. I remember picking it up, and it was like a really poor recording saying the school was canceled. I still have that memory, and I was like, yes!
And then also, I have to imagine that there's just more people driving their kids to school and dropping them off than there was
Yeah.
like 20 years ago. Like 20
More
years ago.
kids walked and biked.
Yeah. And now,
My kid walks and bikes.
There's a whole school
they
downtown
live
that
across
has
the
nothing other than car ride or pickup for their kids, and it ruins downtown like every single day when they let their kids
Yeah,
out.
Oh yeah, that's next to my therapist, and when I'm going down there to that art
Dude.
school on the
and
left hand
parents,
side,
those
yeah.
parents could not be more entitled about picking their kids up. They run stoplights. They just break into traffic
They
when it's
do.
not their turn. They are real assholes about it.
Yeah, they are real assholes about it. They'll put their hazards on and then use the fact that they have their hazards on to like cut you off and stuff. Yeah,
all
it's crazy.
kinds of shit that you would,
It's crazy.
that would get you in a fight in any other situation.
That's the school Maisie wants to go
Ugh.
to because it's like a dancing like a
oh,
magnet.
the one we drove by.
Yeah, the one we drove by, like because they do like dance and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh god,
it's an
you're
arts
not going to
performing
fame. You're not going to
magnet
fame.
school. Yeah.
So right before the show started, Daniel told me a tidbit of information.
Tidbit.
Yeah, sometimes
in our chat room.
sometimes the chat room just unfolds like a flower.
And then I have to hear this in person.
What
so-
line is he on?
2.
All right, line 2.
Not technically in person. It's on the phone.
Well, it's,
From the horse's mouth.
Joining us, one of our favorite callers, and he's been with us for a very long time. On the line with us right now is Concrete Mike. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, T&D Medical and Ross?
so, Mike, what happened now with your buddy?
What's it?
Yeah, tell us the story. You
Beaver
were
Okay.
This guy harassing cats again?
the preview videos before the show starts on Twitch, one of them was a clip about the beaver hunt segment. And I made a comment in chat how I discovered one of my friend's mom in 9th grade in the beaver hunt in a Hustler magazine.
How did you know? Like,
What's her face, Tom? She showed her face.
Well, I'm just saying, was
I
it
think
just
they put names too, right?
Yeah, they would put first name and age.
Well, it
so-
would put like the dude's name. It'd be like Barry from Rhode Island sent in this
Yeah,
picture.
he's
of
like
his
sending a
lady.
picture of his old lady. Look at the bush and inflamed lips on that thing. You know, like, whoa.
So men were sending in females'
It
pictures?
was a badge.
Hopefully it was consensual.
It was a badge
Yeah,
of
right.
honor to send a picture of your old lady into Beaver
As
Hunt.
long as she was cool with
to
it, right?
show her piss flaps. Yeah,
Ew.
it's like a biker.
Don't say
It
piss
feels
flaps.
very.
Certain biker magazines to this very day.
Yeah, it feels very bikery. It's like, what do bikers do when they love the ultimate? Okay, if you're a biker and you love your wife and you want to show her and the world how much you love her, you can't get on your knees and honor her that way. You can't wash her feet or anoint them with oil like Jesus would have in the disciples. What you got to do. You got to tell her to get on the couch, spread eagle, and you got to snap some photos of her fucking piss lips, and you got to send them into Beaver Hunt. And then when they showcase you, and they would always do the move where they would take the photos, and to make them look like photos, they'll cock them to the side. So they look like
Yeah,
photos
little
in
French
a
angle to it.
Yeah, they put
Yeah.
a little angle on it,
Dutch
you know,
angle.
and then you'd see it, and it'd be like I think it would be the lady's name and then her age. Is that correct, Mike?
I remember briefly they had. It's been a long time since I looked at the magazines, but they'd have like a name and like a hometown or whatever. But what really gave it away, this was a very beautiful middle-aged Italian woman, and she was very healthy. We'll say it like that. And the wallpaper and the sheets and the headboard just gave it all away. When I showed my friend Sean, I was like, look, dude, it's the same wallpaper. I was like, it's the same bed. It's there. I was like, that's your mom, the same long
Your
black curly hair.
Your dad's motorcycle helmet's in the background.
I like how you had to show him the wallpaper as evidence, and not that it's like that's your mom.
Look at your mom's face.
But I guess when she's like in the 90s, she's probably got big T's, Dog the Bounty on her hair.
Yeah, what kind of hair? What was she doing? Was she spread eagle?
She was on the bed kneeling like she was getting ready to frog somebody, and had her hands up behind her head, holding her hair back, and just holding them big old tits out.
All right.
Holding big old tits out.
So what happened?
I love it.
When you showed your buddy mom.
No, you said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but you said that your friend tried to steal the magazine because he didn't want you jacking off to it.
Yes, every time he was at my house, he'd try to find it. We'd be over there playing video games, Mortal Kombat, whatever, on Nintendo. And he'd always would be trying to search for wherever I had that thing hidden because he knew I was jacking it to his mom.
He was on a literal beaver hunt.
Should we shut the show down? How do we beat that story?
Did you ever go over to his house again and see his mom after finding her in Beaver Hunt?
Oh, no, I never brought that up. I was a freshman in high school. I was intimidated by, that whole... I wasn't going to let her know. I didn't want my friend's mom to know I was jacking off to her.
I think I would have liked that. I think I would have liked my friend's mom. There was a mom that I remember.
Well, this is before I got into watching a lot of porn and I become more experienced. Had I known then what I know now, I would have let her know, But.
Holy smokes!
Mike, when you told your buddy...
There we go. All right, we're good now.
If I knew now what I know then, I'd go over there with a pizza with a hole cut out in
it. So, Mike, when you told your buddy, hey, this is your mom in Beaver Hunt, was he traumatized by that? Did he freak out? That's
a great question.
How did he take it?
Yeah.
At first it was denial. And then once the realization hit him with the wallpaper and the headboard and all of that,
and then acceptance.
He gave in, and then it was become a mission of him just trying to remove this stuff from my possession.
Do you still have the book, and is he still questing for it?
No, that actually is that's something that burned up in that house fire that I had talked about probably a couple years ago.
Guess who set that fucking house fire?
That was one of my prized possessions.
Oh, wow.
You should have given him that fucking magazine.
That's a great movie. It was arson the whole time. Arson the whole time.
I know this is disturbing, having your mom in Beaver Hunt as a kid.
I think there are far more disturbing things that people do to their kids than going to Beaver Hunt. I mean...
Well, it's disturbing for a kid to find out that your mom was in some porno magazine and your friends know about it. But in the future, after when you're Concrete Mike's age and his buddies, middle age, then I feel like it could be comedy, right? Because your mom now is in her 70s, and then this is her in the 90s.
Let's be honest. I mean, the idea of being
she's actually no longer with us.
Yeah, I was going to say, the idea of being in there, though, wasn't...
Makes it a little worse.
Does it? I think it makes it better. It's the reason you're in there is a good reason. You're not in there because people don't want to see you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to spin this a little...
I'd like one of those headstones with the picture mounted in the middle.
With the bench that you can sit next to and jack off.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Well, thanks for telling us the story.
That's crazy, dude.
And we'll... are you coming out this week?
No, I'm getting ready for 15 people coming to my house on Thanksgiving. I'm still putting away all my Halloween shit up in the attic, and then I got to start getting down other stuff and get the house cleaned up. I'm going to invite the whole family over here.
All right.
Still put away your Halloween stuff. I thought you were a hard-working man.
He's been working.
He doesn't have time to put it away.
That's why my Halloween stuff is put away, Tom.
Yeah, but I thought you liked hard work. That's what I was taught.
That's Tom's way of saying you're not working hard enough. That should have already been put away.
I'm losing 3 to 3.5 hours every day on my workday just driving back and forth to Daytona Beach. So, my 8-hour day is turning into 12 or 13 hours.
I mean, that's hard. I thought everything was hard.
I'm just hearing excuses. You
get home and then it's easy. It's always hard. Then you go to sleep and start over.
If you don't work
he's
hard.
Always hard, all right.
If you don't work hard, you'll never make it to Beaver Hunt.
Put the decorations away while you drive.
Let me get some of that Adderall, Tom.
I've been asking for 2 years.
They got street Adderall.
No, it's mixed with fentanyl now. You can't trust it.
Get out of here. All right, I hung up. on him.
This made me recover a memory. I haven't thought about this in decades. Back when I used to live in Pennsylvania when I was a kid, I don't know, maybe when I was like 6, 8 years old, we'd go over to my uncle's house, and he had a pool table in the basement. So, like, when him and my dad were fucking around in the garage or whatever, they'd go be like, just go play with the pool table in the basement. Don't scratch the felt or whatever, but you can play with the balls, fuck around.
Kids never use sticks either. You just roll the ball around.
Yeah. I was too short. I was definitely, so, like, that's to age me. I was,
Still
like,
am.
I'm, like, just barely looking over the lip of a pool table. At a certain point, I noticed on the stair way down were framed pictures of naked ladies. Like, framed pictures of, like, naked ladies. Or, what I guess was like one naked lady repeatedly, and it was years and years and years went by, and it was something like, I was like, is that the wallpaper of the basement? I realized it was photos of my aunt.
Oh,
really?
man.
Had to be. Or she just let him take naked pictures of some other lady in the basement, frame them, and put them on the stairway down.
Yeah.
Those were his victims.
I mean, there's only one person I know that flies adjacent to this, and it's neither of us three on the left side of the studio, but there is one gentleman maybe in this room that dances with biker Pislip. a little Castleberry biker.
There's something.
a lot of asses hanging up over at Tom's house.
It's
that
a
is
thing.
a Florida trashy thing.
It's a thing to put boudoir pictures of your wife and frame them and then put them up
Your
for
old lady. It's
Did
your old
Crystal's
lady.
parents have any of that in their house? Is
Of
that where
course.
she got the idea?
No,
course.
I don't think so. Not that I remember. Like, I remember going over to her parents' house when I was a teenager, and there was nothing like that.
Tom's right. It is a thing. In fact, it's number 6 on the top 10 trashiest things ever.
It really is a thing.
It's a power move, though.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like,
is.
if you go over, I'm just saying, okay,
It is a power move.
If you come to my house for a dinner party, whatever, then you're just, you're doing that move. Like, I'm showing you the house, right?
Yeah.
You do the tour.
No, you do the thing where the bathroom's occupied, and I'm like, I need to use your restroom. You go, you can use the use the main, the master, whatever. You know.
Now, here's the thing: like, Crystal's not full Florida woman that because the
Too modest.
the full Florida boudoir.
Oh, they're
is your
spread eagle
face.
with pink parts.
Yeah, and I'm in there holding the ass. I'm in there with like my shirt off.
You're holding like the behind her. You're holding her nipples. Yeah.
I like cover. I've seen a couple where the lady covers her nipples with a shotgun, and I'm like, I'm kind of into that.
No, but
like a gun Florida thing. I'm into that.
I like when they show full. I'm not talking about just lingerie. I'm like full nipple.
nude.
Oh,
nips.
yeah.
Like
I like shirt on, pants off, pussy spread. I like it wide open.
Like, she's bending over, showing her ass. We're like, hold on, there's her vagina on the bottom.
Virgina.
Yeah, I seen your vagina.
There's a miniature butt underneath.
And just in case it's come up in the chat or whatever, I'm blood related to my uncle, not that aunt. Okay.
That's fine.
Clarified.
Yeah.
Orlando Talk Show with Ross McCoy. Retraction.
Yeah. So anyway, this week we were doing media, and it reminded me because I think when we were at Johnny's doing
Not
the
Johnny's
morning-
other side. We're on Johnny's House, the radio show.
and a person on the show was doing a teach-in later on the day. Ray.
Yeah, we used to work with her back when she was an intern on
Radio Ray?
Buckethead show.
And I didn't. It kind of made so when I found out that it was the teach-in day,
And she was dressed to the 1000s. Like, she had on a full business suit with, like, a little jacket. And, like, she looked amazing.
And just so if anybody that doesn't have kids and is not aware, teach-in is like the parents go to the class and then tell the class about what they do for a living.
That used to be called like Career Day back in the day. Yeah.
Career day.
I don't know why they changed it to teach-in.
I don't know. Why'd they change homeless to unhoused? I don't get any, like, I'm not, that's not a double
How
man.
can Career Day be offensive at all?
Teaching sounds like they're going to come and be my teacher for a day or something.
Yeah, it doesn't. Teaching sounds like.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah, because like I'm like, what is it? Like they're already teaching.
I never heard of it.
I see what you're doing. Look at this guy. Jeff Foxworthy over here.
Jesus.
You might be a redneck. All right.
As a housewife,
I like that one.
As
There's
a
your
housewife,
sign.
it's probably like a stay-at-home mom or something that like made a big deal about. I don't have a career, but I want to come in and do a teach-in. Like it's probably
You
one of those.
can't because you're just a stay-at-home mom. Don't say that. Oh,
That's called being unemployed.
I could do
Are you making money? No. Is your job hard? It is hard. Okay, well, sorry, you're not making money.
I don't know why you chose that.
I could do 45 minutes in front of kindergartners on taking kids to the park high easy.
So this leads me to my disappointment. I'll explain to you.
Okay,
So,
all right. I got a teach-in story, too, if something happened yesterday that really makes me question my daughter's intelligence.
Okay, yeah. You mentioned that. So what happened?
Okay, so apparently, I'm going to tread lightly on this because I did not get cleared to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it. But this is something that we're flying a little close to the sun on this. So in her class, in Maisie's elementary school class, they were doing a version of the teach-in, and she had two guests that were going to come in. Three guests that were going to come in. One of them was from Universal Studios to talk about the theme parks. I'm like, well, I would have never beaten that, so glad I didn't sign up.
Yeah.
Number two was, who did they? Oh, a musician that does write a songwriter that writes jingles. So the lady came in, played guitar, and sang some of her original songs, and then I think they helped her write a jingle. I'm like, oh, I would have never crushed that either. That's a really good one. The last one, and this is something Maisie's really into, was a professional cupcake baker.
All right.
And the professional cupcake baker was going to show, like, these are the creations I make. These are the things that we have. And she had some cupcakes. And apparently they had some cupcakes for the kids to decorate. And this is what Maisie told me. So I'll just relay the message and you tell me if you can try to figure this out. Maisie said that the lady had cupcake stations for each one of the kids, and they all got a cupcake with vanilla frosting.
By the way, those are really good ones. They
are really good ones.
Some donuts, because I remember
they're really good
like
ones.
Career day when we were growing up. It was like
my dad was a salesman. Salesman.
A lot of salesmen.
Yeah, my dad smells like smoke. He walks in there. My dad would bring gummy bears, though, because he knew it was a popularity contest, and he didn't want to lose.
Yeah. Someone worked at a citrus factory.
T.G. Lee Milk. We had T.G. Lee Milk. We had a milk guy come.
But they
farmer. Cattleman, Florida cattleman. But okay, so the baker has these cupcakes. She gives each kid a cupcake and then gives each kid, I guess, like a little tube of icing and then like some sprinkles so they can decorate their own cupcake, kind of showing what she does. Well, May, and I talked to her about this. I was like, were you supposed to do this? So I guess May opened her sprinkles and then she started eating her sprinkles. And she realized that she was like, these are horrible. They are absolutely disgusting.
Oh, no.
So she raises her hand, and then the teacher calls on her, and she's like, I've been eating my sprinkles, and they taste disgusting. And I'm like, oh, my God, what are you doing? You're ruining the class. No. It turns out the lady that was coming to do this, and this is why I'm treading lightly, apparently brought rubber sprinkles that are only for like photographs or whatever, but they're made of rubber. And May ate the whole goddamn pack of them. And I'm like, well, we need to IQ test her because that's what athletes do. That's the Frank Gore. When you eat the rubber sprinkles, you're Frank Gore.
No,
her number one thought going into that classroom was, first thing I got to tell the kids, don't eat these sprinkles because they're going to look like food. It's going to look like candy. I'm going to be giving them to kids. I got to tie a string around my fingers. I tell them that's not food, kids.
They were rubber sprinkles. Maisie said the lady called them designer sprinkles. She's like, oh no, you can't eat those. What? All the kids were spitting in the sink.
No,
ridiculous.
Bullshit.
You would think that
I'm sure it's harmless, but I'm just it's like one of those things where I'm like, I'd be mortified if I had that happen.
I mean, you could swallow handfuls of sand and stuff.
Yeah,
your body.
Sand is different than rubber.
That's why you have a gallbladder.
And there's paint on this. I'm assuming there's paint on the sprinkles too.
No, they were just little. I think she said they were just like little jimmies, like little bits of rubber.
Yeah, but they were colored, right? So there had to be some type of paint on them as well.
They're blue.
You poop those out.
Yeah, it's fine. It comes right out of you. Microplastics are all around us right now. What's a few more? It's like whatever. It's coursing through my veins.
It's avoidable. If this lady would have said for once, listen, kids, these cupcakes are not for eating at all. They're just for decorating. Like, at what point do you not explain that to a group of children you're giving fucking
Well, you're
cupcakes?
also a dickhead if you bring in fake food, fake cupcakes.
No, it was absolutely an accident.
Like
it was
she grabbed the wrong sprinkles.
Yeah, it was.
You got to triple check on that.
It was grab the wrong sprinkles. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, children are the most fine with being poisoned or eating shit.
You can't poison the elderly.
Say that to the bear who's Xanaxed a bunch of kiddos.
Their bodies
ruin the whole show for you.
They got rubber bones. They're fine.
Yeah. My kid ate half a bowl of incense at Bart Merrick's house.
Kids are dumb. Kids are dumb.
It's like, this smells good. Doesn't taste great. great, but I'll just go by smell.
They'll eat like 22 Advil. You're like, it's fine. I'll poop that out. What I had to happen with my teaching experience is I was disappointed that my sons didn't ask me to do it. And
Here we go again.
That checks out. Yeah, that checks out.
Because
you like to be included in everything your sons do. That checks out.
Because when
you say that, but then you also said that you went to this whole thing for Dante and you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. Do you want to do that again?
No, I don't want to do any of it. I don't want.
What the hell?
But I want to be asked to do it.
He wants to be asked to do it.
Well, now you're acting like a woman.
No, he's acting a little more like me.
No, well, I don't want
to go. I just want to be asked.
I understand that.
It's not emotional. I promise you. It's logical, and here's why.
No, it's not. That is 100% emotional. Your feelings got hurt because they didn't ask you.
Well, because out of all the kids in the class parents, you would think that they would think that their dad has the most interesting job.
Why would they think that? Every time they're here, they just sit there and play on their iPad. They don't give two fucks about what you're doing.
No, I know
that
they
checks
don't.
out too. Yeah.
But they know that I'm in I do some sort of show.
But
they know Tom and Dan. They see the shirts.
But maybe they know you don't like that sort of stuff. Like based on like what they know of you. Like, have you ever shared with Tommy that you don't like to get up in front of the class and speak? Have you ever shared that? Because he might remember that shit, and then he's like, oh, yeah, of course Dad doesn't want to do this.
Dad's
he don't like that
me,
shit.
Yeah.
No, I told him I used to be like that, but through hard work and perseverance, now I'm the king
sometimes
of...
you have to lie to
you
your
lie.
kids.
King of Orlando Wearers. Yeah. You're Howard Stern of Castleberry.
I'll get up in front of 20,000,
Yeah.
and
Rock them all. Yeah, I got you.
The only
But
thing that
I'm
would make
lying.
this better is if they would have asked Crystal
Now, have you considered the fact
to do the teaching.
that they've been...
That would have been...
That could have been a divorce.
That might have been a fight.
Max did scream out loud, "Mom's job is unimportant," which made
You did
the
not
whole
need to say
family
that on the
laugh.
show. Everybody
hurt Crystal's feelings.
Of course he did.
you say that on the show,
and then he tried to retract it, and he was like, "I'll just."
How did you slip him the note?
He said, I was just making a joke, and then I'm like, "No, you weren't. That was your true feeling."
He said, wait a minute. Maximilian said, Mommy's job is unimportant?
Yeah. Well, that was his initial feeling that he screamed.
Of course.
Yeah, because we started talking about like the teaching and I think Crystal said, "Do you want me to come up ever do it one day?" And Max said,
In his defense, I'm going to say what he was trying to say. It was like unrare. There's probably a lot of real estate agents in the world. So trying to say.
And uninteresting. There's a lot of.
What other things can you think of that would make Realtor a horrible teaching job, Tom?
Well, even Crystal admitted it's not that interesting for kids. Like the cupcake maker, Tommy explained that he had a caricature artist come.
That's dope.
And they called Tommy up and he drew Tommy's caricature
that's cool.
on the board. And I was like, man, that guy's got the goods.
Yeah.
Because he's got a job.
It's something visual.
And then the kids got excited that,
at some point you should explain to the kids, though, that guy makes like $10,000 a year and Crystal's clearing like six figures. That should come up at some point.
They don't understand that. They have no concept.
Yeah.
But I've already planned what I'm going to do if my sons ever do ask me, because
Stuntman.
Oh yeah, I have a plan for if I'm attacked by a unicorn too.
well, I won't say anything about radio or this job itself, and the actual job is boring and to kids at least.
Okay.
And whatever we talk for a living, we sell commercials. I'm a sports Subaru.
We make jokes.
Yeah.
We try to make people smile, laugh a little bit.
Yeah, we got a membership program that most people forget about. There's the only reason I remember.
It's good. Planet Fitness model, sure.
I convinced a bunch of breweries it was in their best interest to give away their beer.
And
they really enjoy this event. I don't know why. Yeah.
So how I would explain it to them is that I'm sort of like Mr. Beast, because they know that. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm on
you are
YouTube.
absolutely nothing.
You're an
like
influencer.
Yeah.
You don't give anything away but straw hats, so you can't.
Yeah.
There's no money given away. There's no contest.
Yeah, you are a regular Jimmy.
Hell, you could win a contest and stay at the Airbnb and then get it taken away from you.
That's true. We did that last year, right?
You are like Mr. Beast in that you're both white guys that can't grow a beard.
Facts.
And
He has a
then
beard.
I would bring in
Sad.
like $1 popcorn, $10 popcorn, $100 popcorn.
Oh, okay.
And then have the class like, who wants to try $100
But you don't do
popcorn?
that on your job, so you're going to be
Right.
lying.
Right.
So
No,
you're
but they
doing
don't-
what guys do at clubs to women where they lie about their profession. You're going to the teacher to lie to them that
with these dusty ass sun-faded shoes.
And you've never done
You
the
can't
whole
walk in there with
$1
those
popcorn, $100 popcorn.
No, but that's what
dusty
they like.
shoes popcorn.
No, you got to play to your audience. Ross knows this. Like, that's what they know. They know Mr. Beast,
But you're not Mr. Beast.
Yeah, but you've never shot a video even like that, so you're straight lying.
No.
That's like saying to me, look, Ross, the Orlando Improv books a black comic every other weekend. You should be a black comic. You're not that. You can't ever be that. Why?
But no, you're like Kevin Hart because you do the same thing. You do stand up. You're standing with a mic and there's people in front of you. And that's on a stage.
Okay.
I'm on YouTube, and there's people that subscribe. There's subscribers involved.
There are,
There's some people watching it. We do some.
We do live streams. He doesn't do live streams. You could say you're a streamer.
You're getting into semantics of.
Check out the show.
When the cupcake lady's just making cupcakes and like, you want to eat some cupcakes? Everybody's like,
Can't eat them. They're rubber.
Yeah, she's not like a broccoli quiche lady, and she decided, you know what, I'm going to do cupcakes for the kids because I'm playing to the kids.
Yeah, she didn't lie.
She's doing what she does.
Okay, well, I mean, it would be a way for the kids to like me, which is all that I'm looking for.
This is exactly what my dad did. My dad would come in, he'd salesman, he would go to the dollar store and buy a bunch of toys and buy a bunch of candy, and then he'd show up, he'd smoke his last cigarette outside, they'd come in, he'd go in front, I'm a salesman, I sell tax guide, here's some candy, here's some toys. Yeah, I love him. He's like, I'm the best, I'll win the day.
He knows your dad knew.
Yeah, my dad knows. Yeah,
Well, he didn't lie about what he did. He just brought candy.
Well, I mean, he didn't linger too long in the salesman part. Like, he said salesman, and then he'd be candy and toys.
All they remembered is, Daniel's dad's a candy salesman.
My dad did that for everything. When he had to do, there was a thing at Trinity United Methodist Church. I don't know if they still do it, but that was my church in DeLand. It's still there. They've since, I think they're going to move out of there, and they've torn it down and whatever. If you know that area, it's right in the center of the town. But my dad would do this thing called Children's Moments, where you would go down and you'd like share a parable or some sort of like smaller like children's Jesus story, right? But my dad, when certain members of the congregation were asked to do it, different people. When my dad was asked to do it, every single time, and he wasn't supposed to do this, he would end the children's moments with candy or a toy because he wanted every kid to remember that he was the best guy that did it because he gave them something.
He knows.
He did know. Yeah, it was like a thing. He did it with all of his clients. If his clients were like, every Christmas, he would take his own money and he'd buy these little pocket like organizers. What are those things called? Franklin planners?
Okay,
Franklin and he'd buy those, tons of them, and then he'd give them to all of his clients, and he'd be like, that's for you. Remember where you got it. Dan did his best in town. Like he was a salesman.
I got a Jake's Fireworks calendar on my wall right now.
Yeah.
How I know when Diwali is.
You're not wrong. I mean, it does work.
The chat says you should have jumped a school bus in the parking lot.
You could do a stunt for them.
No.
You could come dressed as the bear. I mean, you've given kids what they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if there was some sort of visual, like I could start playing YouTube videos, although it would be embarrassing in front of the teacher because she'd be like, what are you doing? Don't show them this. Some of these kids, parents don't let them watch YouTube.
Drunkie?
Yeah.
Do you think your kids looked at the situation and accurately assessed that you're not for kids, you're for adults? Do you think they made that call? Maybe.
No, they're like me, Ross, where they just didn't even think about the fact of even asking me that or that it may make me feel good if they ask me to do it. They just oblivious to those surroundings, just like I am.
Yeah, they ask you to run with them, though.
Yeah, but that's because
that makes me think that they think your job is boring.
You're acting like though they exist in a vacuum. They sat in a class and a teacher announced to a class we're having in interesting parents. At some point they had to run the math and go, I
have parents.
Nope.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
That's why I'm
Their feelings are hurt.
Ross, that is you really know his buttons because that's absolutely the worst thing you could have said to him.
Yeah.
He's going to take that home tonight.
I'm just trying to come up with what the logical process was in their heads. Because nobody knows better than me that your kids are always over you. I get that. I'm constantly trying to make my kids laugh. 0% success rate. It's fine. I get it. But like, was it something different with your kids?
That it doesn't make
I
sense.
don't think they even know exactly what it is you do.
I've
yeah, it
sat
doesn't
them
matter.
down.
They zone out.
See, this is where Tom and I are completely
I'm
different.
bringing them to the sofa and suds.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think they've been to things and they've looked around and they've seen that the audience is 0% people their age. So they probably went like, Dad, he does his thing, but it's not for like this. They read the room.
They don't get as far into it as we assume they do because of just the ease of an age difference. Like, we're assuming that they fully understand everything around them, and they're not. They're just there.
Yes.
I know Maisie doesn't know what I do. I know she doesn't. She hears me on the radio at times, and she knows we do a show. But if I asked her, she'd say, yeah, he does a radio show. He records. That's it. She doesn't know.
Yeah.
So you were saying earlier, Tom brought up a good point. He's like, I like bringing the boys to like the event so they see what I've been planning. They see what I've been stressing over. They see, and that's, I mean, yeah, there is some truth to that. I mean, but I've never had that conversation with Maisie. I don't know why, but I've never had that. Just never comes up. I don't want to talk
This
about
is like, I remember when I was a kid, little, barely see over a pool table, PPG, my dad worked for PPG at the time.
Yeah, right
and
on.
they had just built like the biggest tower in downtown Pittsburgh and opened it up as an office or something like that. And so like everybody who worked for PPG could bring their family and tour it. So like my dad was all excited to take me, show me like powder coating and shit happening. And like, I could not care less. All I wanted, I saw some kid in an elevator who'd been given a sample of glass, and I just wanted to sample glass, and I ruined the whole thing, just insisting, I want a piece of glass like that kid got. And my dad's like, I work in paint. I don't work in glass. I don't know what lab he got a piece of glass for his kid from. And my dad just like wanted to literally just show us like how to paint and stuff, and like nobody fucking cares.
Right.
I wonder in our audience who grew up with the parents with the most interesting job that they actually were impressed about. No kid is impressed about what their parent does, right? It's like
That's a great question.
Like Brad Pitt's kids aren't that impressed, right? Or although it did seem like David Beckham's kids were impressed by.
You know whose kids seem to be impressed with him, and I'm not impressed with him, but I think Will Smith's kids are impressed with him.
I mean, not anymore.
Well, no, his son seems to go for him like all the time, like stick up for him, and that's maybe a father-son bond. I don't know.
But they're
I don't know.
older
And
now,
they are older,
so they want to be famous,
And they're in the business too, so
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but when they were younger, I bet it probably wasn't that were they super impressed?
It seems
daily?
like
I don't know,
they
because you think
were.
about it, right? Like those kind of kids, they're also around other celebrities' kids,
Yeah,
so it's their reality.
yeah.
It's not. Is it that impressive when all of your friends' parents are celebrities?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean,
It's all you know.
I mean, this hurts my feelings a little bit, and we've talked about it before, but May is so driven, and she got that, I think, from both of us. I think me and Andrea both like to succeed, and we're hard workers. But May is so driven that she's like, and she's 8. So she's real selfish about like, I just want to do my dance, and that's
Yeah.
I got my
Yeah.
thing, and I
Right.
got my school, and I don't really care
already-
what you do, Dad,
Yeah, yeah.
as long as you're feeding me and
This is her life
She's focused.
path has already started, and now you're just providing food and board.
That is what it feels like sometimes. Yeah, man.
As soon as she turns 18,
Wednesday night, like, I know people think I'm a baby about this shit, but I'll just give you an example. Like, I'm, come home Wednesday night. May's gonna, we had done media, or was it? When did we do Jimmy's show?
it was Wednesday.
Wednesday night. So we did the Jim Colbert show Wednesday night. So I was getting in a little bit later, and I forgot about this. But she had like 2 extra classes, so she went to the dance class at like, I think we were out of there by like 6 or something like that, and she was going to be there from like 5:30 to like 8. So I came home, and I was like, nobody was there, and it was me and Dansby, and I heated up a couple of already cooked hot dogs, and I ate 2 hot dogs on 2 pieces of white bread with just mustard on it alone. I'm serious. I mean, this is the stuff that I am a very sensitive person. I'm sitting there alone eating 2 hot dogs with a dog in the dark and drinking a Topo Chico. Then I'm like, where the fuck's my family? Where's my daughter? I want to spend some time with you. You don't care about me. Yeah, I mean, that's how it feels.
Yeah, she's
Because I'm a baby.
grown already.
Yeah, I am a baby. Should we take a break?
But that you're experiencing a different experience than I think most 8-year-old parents are. Like my kids are nowhere close to being self-sufficient at all. And none of my friends that I know, and I don't, like at 8 years old, I feel like most parents are still dealing with a kid.
I think so.
You know, that it's
I wish I was.
all over the place.
Sometimes I wish I was.
You guys should have like 2 more kids because like the one kid is just too easy. You're playing it on easy mode, and
I can't disagree with you. I mean, I can't. Everything you said that I said wasn't going to happen absolutely happened. I've told you that before.
I could probably tell you the kids sprout wings when they turn 10, and you would just accept it at this point.
I mean, because you've hit so many things on the head, man. But anyway, should we take a break?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got good music today because, and this is really, really cool. I just found out about this yesterday. Smart Punk here in town, the record label that does a lot of really good punk releases, Orlando-based little record label. They did a tribute to Blink 182, and it's got songs by both Debt Neglector and Virginity, and it came through on our desk. So through the publisher, and we're allowed to play these. It's really, really cool. So here is some Debt Neglector with Go, and we'll be right back right after this. If you're like me, you might have a child that gets very bored over the holidays because you might have to work or you don't have anything planned. But you can get rid of that by taking your child to Orlando Science Center's camps. They do camps during Christmas and Thanksgiving. Maisie's done these before, and it's an awesome way to, activate your child, enrich them. They have a great time.
Yeah, they have fun and they learn something.
Yeah.
The Science Center is great. Become a member. That's the easiest thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
But their VIP tours are back. They're now through March 5th. So this is how you book them. Just email groups@osc.org.
Yep.
Mention Tom and Dan. You'll get $25 off. It's a group of 10 people. They take you up to the telescope. They have you look at some different planets. It's super cool.
It's literally the most unique experience for the price you can give somebody for Christmas because they're going to actually get to use a hundreds of thousands of dollars telescope to see real planets. It's so cool.
Also, the Orlando Science Center is going to be out at our Beer Fest.
Yeah,
if you want to swing by and say hi to Spencer and
He
Jeff.
would like that. Yeah, go say hi to Jeff, man. They're really, really good folks.
Easiest thing to do is to become a member, but check out everything at osc.org.
Yeah, man. That is Virginity with Here's Your Letter. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. Are you looking for the perfect gift to give to someone for the holidays that really is universal for everybody?
Yeah, I'm looking for something for my mom.
This is perfect. Perfect for Beaver Hunt.
How hairy is your mom?
If your mom is going into Beaver Hunt and needs to shave her beaver, this'll get your piss flaps looking hardy.
Now, I mean, if there's a man in your life with a beard, this could work better for this person. But
they have
anybody with any hair that they want to groom.
Well, the beard hedger is what you would want to use for your beard because that actually has a dial guard on it, which is great. This one right here, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, brand new with the skin-safe technology. Trust me when I tell you, it won't cut you. I actually have been using this all week. I've been using it on my arm that's heavily tattooed. It does a great job because it's got a foil razor on it that cuts you down to the skin without hurting you at all. Super smooth. No razor bumps or irritation.
Yep.
And then I've been using it on the balls, and this is what you're looking for to go down there and not get cut up and be smooth and proper. This is what you want to get.
Yep.
It's funny. Tomorrow's my dad's 69th birthday. I feel like that's the perfect.
Get him this. Get him this.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing like the feeling of looking down at my balls and seeing
the feel
of cotton
of my balls,
the fabric of my life. That's Aaron Neville. The ball, I have that translucent ball hair, and I think that it's the pigment gets sucked out of the ball hairs because they rub against my jockey shorts. And there's nothing better than trimming all of those under the balls hair, all gone. Smooth.
You have me at I have translucent balls.
I have translucent ball hair.
Promo code Tom and Dan 20. 20% off your purchase. Free shipping.
I think why this is working, because I can see it in your face.
No.
The reason this is working is because I'm brave enough to talk about stuff other people don't want to talk about.
Is it?
If men go right now listening to this show and sit down in a chair and then grab your balls like you're grabbing a napkin and pull them up and look at the under
give 'em a
hairs.
tug.
They're translucent. They look like fishing line.
I
Because
can't
they're-
believe it's working.
Because they're rubbing down there. It's rubbing down there.
And I thought this was going to last 2 months. I was like,
No.
we'll hit them hard
I mean,
month
they're
one.
founders
and
by now. Like,
then, they just keep advertising. Anyway, thank you guys for using the
yeah,
promo code.
appreciate it. Tom and Dan 20.
They invented a crotch shaving company. They know what's up. They know what's up.
Their logo is a balls. Like, look, their logo is balls.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Manscaped, Tom and Dan 20.
So, Ross, you just went to Texas.
Yeah,
correct?
I did.
Okay, so why'd you go to Texas?
It's funny. Every comic that I've told this has been like, oh, yeah, you went to Austin? Nope. Well, why'd you go to Texas? My father-in-law bought a 120-acre horse ranch.
Whoa!
Okay.
Or cattle ranch. I don't know. It was before COVID. They bought it kind of before COVID. And their plan was to retire on this cattle ranch, have some head of cattle going, and then COVID and a couple health setbacks happened, so they've just been kind of sitting on this 120-acre ranch for a little bit. So we went out, a couple chores here or there, help them tidy up a little bit. This motherfucker has been making bank on just hay. Like he's got basically these fields that were to be intended for cows to eat, and it's just growing hay. So he's been baling up the hay, and I think it's like fucking. It was like $750 a roll, something like that.
They're super expensive because we tried to get some for Halloween. I'm not lying. We tried to. That's how you know I lie a lot. But they're mega expensive, dude. Like getting the real shit.
Yeah, so the big rolls are $750.
Yeah, the ones you can
something like that. I forget.
I think those are more. No, I think the rolled ones are. I think that's more than $750, man.
I guess probably depends on how big they are, right?
Sure, how fresh they are.
Small roll, big
right?
roll.
I don't know anything about hay bales.
And this part of Texas has been in a drought for 2 years, so a lot of people really needed the hay. He's sold it the second he rolled it, basically. Yeah.
Huh. So
Orba Chaos though is correcting us. Says, bro, I get great round rolls for $120 for my horses. $120. That's a good price.
Well, that may be in Florida. Who knows at Texas? I mean, you're not.
And these were
shipping those.
mega rolls too. He's not fucking.
Oh,
around.
man, the chat room knows because they're like, that's a different type of hay. Now they're arguing. We got a hay fight in there.
Dude, if I told you a quarter of what he told me about growing grass, you would kick me out of the studio. It's insane.
He doesn't want to do any, a little grow your own on there since you got some land.
That actually was the big joke because part of basically we took one of my kids with me and one of my kids, we broke down half a mile of barbed wire fence from previous owners. And one of the other things he wanted to do was walk his whole boundary because he didn't know exactly where all the stuff was because a lot of it was kind of swampy and overgrown when he bought it. Basically, it was cattle farm. Hippie couple bought it and we're gonna farm cattle and never did shit with it and kind of let a bunch of it get overgrown.
Yeah.
So he basically had the back 40 just cleared out and it was a little bit drier. So we walked the boundary and I found his pins for him and shit. And then we were gonna hunt hogs. That was kind of the big draw. So one night we went out with an infrared. He had this really nice 6 hour infrared
I've never
scope.
done that, but it's got to feel good to kill things that people hate, right?
Well, we did.
It's got to feel good.
We did a walkthrough one night just with this infrared scope, and we're looking at all the shit on the farm. It was super interesting. And then we got rained out for as far as guns go, so we didn't get to actually murder anything this trip.
Damn it!
120 acres is big too, right?
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. It turns out.
Yeah, that's a huge plot of land.
I'm gonna say it was just under. It was maybe 3/4 of a mile down, half mile across, something like that. I got the numbers bad, but something like that to a creek bottom. Oh, dude, we saw we walked. One of the boundaries was a creek bottom, so we saw where apparently before he bought the property, there was known that there was a beaver problem on it.
Okay.
So
that seems to be the theme today. My God, another beaver! That's 3. Somebody's gonna die.
So we came across all these beaver dams and trees.
Beaverjuice will show up.
Wow.
And we saw.
Hold on, that's the greatest thing you've ever said. I was mad at you at first, and then I wanted to hug you. I had an uncontrollable urge to kiss your face. Beaverjuice.
Sorry.
We saw Concrete Mike's friend's mom out there too. It was pretty crazy.
Brilliant.
Dude, my favorite thing that happened though was my kid was kind of telling us where to eat based on the internet. He was always looking up the best place to get this.
Or is he yelping some biscuits and gravy? I like that. All right.
And so he was okay, here's the thing about Texas. Everybody in Texas is fucking obese. 100.
Fatter than Floridians?
Florida looks like Hollywood.
LA.
Really?
To Texas.
There's big fat people in Texas, huh?
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Okay.
This is not a
I
statement
thought it
of
was don't mess with Texas.
All my exes are in Texas.
this is not a statement of hyperbole. This is an observed fact that I made.
Okay.
100% of Texans are obese.
100%.
Not just overweight. Obese.
What town is this again?
So
Tyler, right?
Tyler, Texas.
the closest like incorporated township to where we were staying was this place called Tyler, Texas, which Sam and I know is famous from Steve Cantwell. Went there on a drug trip for 8 years one time, and so I was really excited to see Tyler for that reason. But the real gem of the trip to me was this place called Arp, Texas.
ARP, like the retirement magazine? Or organization?
AARP.
They've streamlined it to just the one A.
Okay.
All right.
I guess somebody stepped on a dog's tail while they were naming the town. I don't know.
All right.
But anyway, and so here's the other thing about Texas. I think the fatness has to do with that there's a donut spot in literally every shopping plaza as you go. Like if you're driving down the street, 7-Eleven, donut store, like, you know, gun shop, donut store. Everybody has donut, and everything is a weird example of it's a restaurant and a thrift shop at the same time. Like this,
Yeah, well, you can't stay obese if you don't have to eat. Well, you have to eat with everything you do. That's how you stay obese.
I swear to God, 60% of the places that we ate, we would walk in, we would order food, and then they would just be a Goodwill as well. There'd just be like
We had that.
a weird shelves of shit for sale.
That's
too.
old world, because in downtown Orlando, where Black Bean Deli is now, we used to, on Colonial, we used to have, that used to be Vegas. But Vegas at one point was like Cuban sandwiches, coffee, and like, you know, and then on the other side was gold, like cash for gold. Like it was like a store, and you'd walk in and you'd be getting your sandwich next to a guy that was like handing over necklaces and earrings and one earring, and it was, you're right, it's a weird
It's so fucking
thing.
weird.
Do you think it's the mentality of don't tell me what to do? Like with, you know, some doctor telling this guy like, hey, you can't eat a 2,800 calorie breakfast every morning. Like,
it's like a freedom, true freedom.
Yeah, it's like, don't tell me what to
Freedom.
do. I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And then you just become morbidly obese.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what would be the other reason?
I mean,
Except for
There
the
is
donut
a
shops.
donut shop.
No.
Sometimes there's a donut shop in a donut shop. It's fucking weird, dude. There's like,
I mean, there's plenty of places though you can eat as many calories as you want and get as fat as you want. But I mean,
you ever
try to
been to
keep it
Georgia?
together.
You ever been to Georgia and looked around and been like, there's a lot of churches in this town.
Yeah.
You
Oh
ever-
yeah.
Donut shops in Texas. Okay.
Yeah, mine was handguns on the waist in Georgia. Like where we were at, like we're in the Walmart and we're walking around, and everybody, women and men, they were very nice people. Like I love Georgia, I love Atlanta, but everyone had a gun, and I was
Yeah,
like,
it was open to carry.
yeah, it made me feel like I want a gun. You know, I was looking around, I was like, that's kind of cool. They look good with their gun. They would match their holsters. One lady had like a Western, like a light tan. I think I talked about that when I went on the trip, but yeah, I think that's pretty awesome.
So my kid found this place. One day we wanted donuts.
I love donuts.
And my kid was like, the highest rated donut places around this place called Arp Donuts.
All right.
And it was like, we were staying in Tyler. My in-laws are like a little bit out of town. And so it was on the way, but like 5 miles out of the way, you know, to the north or whatever. So we went the first day to Arp, Texas, which is literally a crossroads.
Okay.
Like it is a crossroads. And if there's 10 businesses in the downtown, 7 of them are defunct. And one of them's a bar that only opens like after 12 p.m.
Okay.
And so we park in front of Arp Donuts. We finally found it. It is a donut shop and thrift store. And we go in, and I ordered what I was to find out was the best bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit on the face of the earth.
Really?
And I grew up in Georgia. I've had some bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. Previous title holder was this little, you know, like those little octangular buildings you put in your backyard to, like, you know, have a place to smoke away from your wife or whatever.
Yes.
Somebody had one of those like in a parking lot on the way to the school, and you just drive by and get a biscuit from that. Amazing. But our donuts blows them out of the fucking water. And so, like, every day we'd stop, and my wife would get nothing. I would get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, and my kid would get like donuts or a sausage roll or something. And the last day we went, I went and I got my 2 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. And I told the guy, I was like, hey, buddy, I'm going back to Florida today. I just want you to know, this is the best bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit on the planet Earth. And, like, you could tell it made his fucking day. Like, it really brightened up his ARP existence for a minute. And,
Wait a minute, you're not obese. Where the fuck are you from?
You'll get there.
You eat my biscuits.
2 a day? Well, that's how it happens.
And so I went out to the car and I ate my 2 biscuits and I was like, shit, you know what? It's the last day. So I sent my kid back in. I was like, hey, get me one more bacon, egg, and cheese
Yeah.
biscuit. And so my kid went in and got the biscuit, and the guy put like half a pound of fucking bacon on that biscuit. Like,
He gave you.
It was
He gave
amazing.
it up. Yeah, I love
That's how
it,
you get
man.
obese.
Yeah.
Look, if you live there, Ross,
yeah.
like, let's say you get gifted this
Texas Ross.
120 acres, you become a hay farmer, which I imagine is your dream, right? Because I would
Well,
love.
his comedy tour was Tumbleweed. I mean, it's all coming together, man.
I mean, you go there every morning for breakfast. You'd be $350.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I also was like literally we're tearing up fence posts and ripping up barbed wire and bundling it up and tossing it in a dumpster. Now, not every day is going to be like that, but the farm, dude, I lost 10 fucking pounds on that trip. It was crazy.
We have confirmation from Vance Cope in our YouTube chat room. Says, as someone born and raised in Texas, the donut shop thing is absolutely true. I was blown away when I moved to Florida because I was like, where are all the donut shops? All right.
Wait, is that
Checks out.
weird?
Are donuts like a Texas?
I don't know, but
thing?
the other thing about it is the fact that, like, you know, if you want a donut around here, what are you going to do? You're going to go to like what's that really fancy vegan one?
Oh, there's Valhalla.
You're going to go to Valhalla
There's
or like Shaka Donuts.
Shaka is a BDM. Their Shaka donuts are like they're not even a
I'm
client.
fucking neighbors with them.
They have great donuts.
So around here you got Dunkin' Donuts, sure, you got a chain, you got a
Krispy
chain,
Kreme.
but most of the donut places you're going to go to around here are these high-end fancy fucking donuts. In Texas, it is all literally DONUT, and it's fucking plain donuts and black coffee. It's not. It's like where where the cops chasing the Blues Brothers would go for a donut.
Right,
100% of the time. There's no fancy ass donuts in Texas.
I just put donut shops in Texas in Google, right? And the second thing that popped up was, why are there so many donut shops in Texas? There is a short documentary coming out, and it says, according to the short documentary, as many as 95% of the donut shops in Texas are likely owned and operated by Cambodians. Approximately 1 million of those lucky enough to escape the brutal Khmer Rouge regime between 1975 and 1979. It represented a way to earn a living in the United States. So people from Cambodia came to Texas, and they all started. They're like, "Hey, we can make money in donuts."
Oh my
These
God.
fat Americans love donuts.
Texas is propping up Cambodia because they're obese
Yes.
and eat all the Cambodian donuts? Is
It's
that what we learned
documented in
today?
a film called Donut People. So if you guys want to check
Wait,
that
are they
out.
talking about the people that make them or the people that eat them?
So during a period between 1975
And 79.
like during some Cambodian
4
Regime.
years. 4 years. The Great Donut Wars. I don't know. What do we call it?
Yeah, like where they were fleeing their country because genocide was happening.
Yeah,
And-
horrible regime.
And they end up in Texas.
Political corruption. They end up in Tyler, Texas.
And they're like, what are we going to do? We'll start donut shop.
Are
That's
donuts
crazy.
huge in Cambodia?
interesting.
That's my next question.
well, not anymore. They all got chased out.
Yeah,
everybody who could cook a donut
we
went to Texas.
We lost all our guys.
But I think donuts are fairly easy to make, right?
Oh, you can make them at home, dude. You can make them out of
Yeah.
biscuits.
They do it in Little House on the Prairie all the time, so I can only assume that yes.
Yeah, it's super easy,
There's a
dude.
bunch
Anybody
of
can
grease.
do it.
Yeah. And it's like
You need oil and you need dough. You can buy biscuits and
Yeah, yeah.
oil. You can do them at home in a Dutch oven. It's
You know
like-
why you do them with a hole?
I do not.
They flip themselves when you're frying them. If you put a hole in the middle.
Are you fucking kidding
I'm
me?
99%
I've learned
sure.
more today than I have in the last 3 years of my life. Really?
I'm pretty sure I remember reading that in the Little House on the Prairie book once.
You get a lot of practical knowledge from those
Many
books.
Cambodian refugees in the U.S. have gravitated toward the donut business, especially in California and
Why?
Texas.
Why donuts?
An estimated 80% of LA's donut shops and 90% of Houston's are owned by Cambodians.
90%
Yeah.
of Texas and California's donuts
In
are
this
made by
film,
Cambodians.
Fawn states that he thinks 95% of all Texas donut shops are owned by Cambodians. This is insane.
And it kind of explains the simplicity of it. Like, literally,
Yeah.
the sign says the word donut, and there's no advertising
No,
or
you
anything.
don't need it.
And
Everybody
it's just
knows
like,
what it is.
come, get donut.
Yeah, everybody knows what it is.
And I'm like, I want to
Simple
watch the
treat.
documentary because
I do too.
Because like the Cambodians are like, all right, what can we cook? They're not. These Texans aren't going to like our local cuisine.
Sure.
It's too crazy. They don't like our proteins because our proteins are wackadoodle to
Yeah.
them, right? Like they're not going to eat squid. They're not going to eat any shrimp prawns with the heads on it.
Texbodian doesn't have that Tex-Mex ring.
I wonder if there's any evidence at all. This would be awesome if pre-1975, like people are more fit in Texas.
And the Cambodian donut.
Yeah, like this was part of the problem. I mean,
The
didn't help.
donutification of Texas, yeah.
And you're right. If there's a donut shop at every corner, like more people are going to eat them. You know,
The chat room is disagreeing with the flip themselves. They're saying it's so they cook evenly, and then they're saying Ross is too high.
Tell it to Laura Ingalls Wilder, you motherfucker.
Yeah. You could write her.
So I brought you up with some Texas stuff. I'm going to bring you down with some Texas stuff. 'Cause this is
Texas sadness.
one of the things we did while we were in Texas is we visited the East Texas Oil Museum, which I cannot recommend enough. It is
the East
hits. It is a 10 out of 10 vacation destination. The East Texas Oil Museum. I swear to God. It's a fucking trip. It's amazing. You go in, there's like a short video about like how oil was made. You sit through that, and then you go in, and they have like various art because there's back in the 1800s in this part of East Texas was like the big first oil strike in Texas, pretty much. And so like we're within 3 miles of like the first big well that sparked the big Texas oil boom.
That's kinda cool.
This town went from like 8 to 80,000 people overnight one night, and like there's a lot of stuff about that, a lot of artifacts and stuff. And then you go through this door into this like this portion, this wing of the museum, and there's nobody there. We were literally the 5 people there.
Yeah, you know what I
There's, like,
noticed? Museums are not people like history's not as popular as it
This
used
is
to be,
clearly propped up by big oil. Like there's some oil bucks involved. Like so what? And like a lot of the town, like everybody in the town's a millionaire from oil. Like back in the day, basically. So like they have all these old oil derricks. They used to. It's dry now, but they have all this shit from when it was, and they're super proud of it. But anyway, one whole wing in the museum is like a street from the 1800s, like while the oil rush is going on, and it's all muddy and like wagons are trapped in it. It's a full like Disney animatronic like street, and you go into shops, and this shopkeeper has like this weird holographic face while he tells you like, "Sure, you can buy some nitroglycerin pills, Mr. Mine." Like it's a whole fucking thing. And
I'm into this.
And
then
so
there's I get high as fuck and walk this museum.
And then part of it, you go into the movie theater that's on the main street, and they show you a movie about the oil boom and everything.
Is it one of those circular theaters? Is like normally they have a crazy theater.
When I tell you this is like some 1950s Disney animatronic level shit, like the stage drops out, like stuff comes up out of the ground and stuff. And again, for 5 of us, and we paid like $2 each to get. It's clearly big oil money was like, dude, you're entertaining. Do something with this, Mr. Funny Man. Like it's that kind of shit everywhere. Fucking amazing. And then the big draw at the end, like you go around in a circle, and then at the end, it has, quote unquote, the elevator to the center of the earth. And so you go, it's remember, when you go,
it's like a ride.
You know when you start Men in Black and you go into the elevator that like goes down into the
secret
sub.
thing.
It's that, except at the front of it, a little screen comes up, and there's 2 fucking puppets. One of them's like an old crusty scientist, and one of them is a young wisecracking kid. And then just the elevator goes down, and
like Mr. Peabody and Simon from
it
the
is
old.
Totally a ripoff version of them. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And so the elevator goes down, and the scientist explains something. The kid wisecracks, and like you get nowhere near the center of the earth. By the way, you barely get into the crust of the earth. I have issues with that.
But the scientist is not saying real science.
No, it is. It's like at this level, this was
pretending.
formed.
Yeah, you're pretending
geologically. He's like
okay.
and like there's some kind of fucking drum going by on the wall, so you're going down. Fucking hilarious, amazing. And so like me and my kid I'm just scratching the surface, by the way. Me and my kid got out of that wing a little bit before everybody else, and we're looking at some of the artifacts. And at one point, I noticed this tiny little plaque, and it's like it's a stained glass window from an old church, right?
Okay.
And there's a nice little display about how when the boom started, they had to empty out the church, and they shackled prisoners to the floor, and it became the jail. There's a nice little sidebar about that, and there's this little tiny plaque that says erected in memorial of the New London school explosion.
All right.
And that's all it says.
New London school explosion?
I got 5 minutes on my
It sounds like they want to sweep that under the rug a little bit, right?
I Googled the new London school explosion, and it turns out, like, right down the fucking street from the East Texas Oil Museum was this school. And when they had this big oil boom, a bunch of people come to town, a bunch of kids with them, right? So they build... Eventually, there's all this oil money running around. There's just nothing but money in this fucking town. And so they build this giant fucking school.
They build this is There Will Be Blood shit, by the way. Like, this is exactly what he builds a school for his employees, kids.
Super fascinating.
100%.
It is.
Yeah.
I hate to borrow a phrase from you. Super fascinating, Tom. And so they build this school, and the architect calls for steam heat. He calls for, like, a boiler in the basement and radiators all through the school to heat it with steam. And superintendent of the schools goes, hey, you know what? We're a block away from, at the time, they're making oil, right? But they had no use for natural gas. It was just waste to them. We're like a block away from this waste pipe where they're venting off all the natural gas from these oil wells. I'm going to hire a plumber to tap into that, and we're going to run a line over to the school, and we're going to heat everybody off this free natural gas. And everyone's like, free? Yeah, let's do that.
Brilliant.
And the oil fields were like, oh, yeah, that fucking trash gas. Sure, whatever. We don't care about that. Go ahead. We don't even care. And so they hire a plumber to come hook up the pipeline. And so come a school day, kids have been complaining for weeks that they're having headaches. And it's Texas, so they're like, go back to school, kid.
and they're plumbing natural gas to heat the schoolhouse.
This trash line from the oil fields.
Yeah.
They're just like venting it off into the woods or some shit.
But they had to have known it was flammable, right? I mean,
yeah, it's heating the goddamn school, Tom. Yeah.
Oh, so the natural gas was going into some sort of furnace system.
Plumber hooked up a pipe to the waistline, piped it over to the school, piped it into some heaters. They're heating the school for free.
Okay, all right.
And natural gas in its natural, completely odorless, no taste, no odor. It's just a gas that exists, just like oxygen, nitrogen, all the shit in the air right now. And so the school fills up with natural gas. It is full.
Because it's some sort of leak.
There's a leak develops. It starts filling the school. Nobody can smell it. Kids are like, I have a headache. They're like, go back to school. Fucking play Foursquare or whatever you do.
And they're obese kids.
Not yet. That was in the 70s.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Cambodians haven't come.
I was like, some of them are even dying before it exploded.
No, they're all ripped at this point.
What they think happened is that the shop teacher fired up an electric sander.
Oh, no. It's always the shop teacher, by the way. It's either molestation or sanding things.
That was the spark that ignited the East London school explosion. And witnesses say that the walls bowed out and the roof lifted off and then crashed back down onto the school.
My God.
And so many people died. That's why they added, I think the East Texas Rail Board got involved. I think that's who ended up making the call, like how to solve this disaster in the future. And they made the call, like, we need to add some sort of smell to natural gas so that if there's a leak, you can fucking tell before you blow up.
Oh, wow. I always thought that the smell in natural gas was natural gas. I didn't know it was an additive.
Added, so that you can tell if your East London school is... and so this is in the 30s, right? And this is the little cherry on top. We learned that there's another separate museum down the street, the New London Museum, I think they call it, and they have a copy, or they have the copy of the Telegram of Regret that was sent to the town by Adolf Hitler, then Chancellor of Germany.
The Telegram of Regret? What is that?
It was the 1930s. It was before we were at war with them. So like we were like, yeah, Germany, go. You're cool. Hey, fucking Henry Ford was a fan. You know, like certain people in America, I don't know, maybe East Texas especially, they were like on Hitler's side previous to World War II. And so Hitler heard about this school disaster.
Oh, and he was like sympathy letter.
Hitler was like, that's fucked up. And so he sent a telegram saying, my condolences.
I am sorry to hear that you blew it off the students.
Yeah. It was so fucking bad. Hitler sent a telegram of condolences.
The letter was in the museum.
In a different museum. Down the street.
The New London Museum. Not the oil museum.
No, they have just the tasteful little plaque. There's a whole nother museum for that fucking school.
Do they have like an animatronic Hitler there? Like,
I don't know. It was my chiefest regret that we didn't go to that one and see the Hitler telegram.
It is weird to think that they would have had like a letter from Hitler that wasn't something
right
that's propaganda towards the thing we all know he did. You know what I mean?
It's
very
so
odd.
it's so
very
old
odd.
that it reflects the fact that Germany was allies with us at that point.
Or
and
that he had an origin story. He had to work his way up before he decided he wanted to implement whatever.
Also, if you ever wondered where Hitler's line is, school explosions.
If you look at what these people were like, the roughnecks of the early 19th century.
Just watch that movie.
Yeah, well, there will be blood.
Yeah, just watch that movie.
I mean, like the early oil derricks, like they would just dig a hole and then bucket the oil out
That's
by
an
hand. There'd be someone
exhausting
down
watch.
there.
That movie is it's a hard watch, like a good watch, but it's like you're tired afterward.
Yeah, just hard ass living, like just ridiculously hard living.
Yeah. So you're screaming, "I abandoned my boy!" And like, oh my god.
Where I'm sure death is like a sweet relief at some point. You're like, this is a hard issue. That's why so many people are religious. I'm sure they're like, there's got to be something better than this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it can't be
I could
born
be
into
sitting
this.
somewhere eating donuts with Vietnamese and getting obese somewhere.
It was such a boom, like, and it happened so quick. At a certain point, like, people couldn't find places to sleep. You had to pay for like a square of land to shit on. Like, it was pretty wild.
I mean, then it's like now all this, like some of this land has essentially the gold rush with oil.
My father-in-law's property, it at one point had 40 oil derricks on it. They had 40 working derricks, and now like all that is left is there's like so basically the type of I learned so much at the East Texas Oil Museum.
You really did.
The type of oil they have in this part of Texas, it's like it's kind of you drill down and then you get to the oil, and underneath is like salt water. So it's remnants of like the old ocean that got covered basically, and it pushes the oil up to kind of, it causes a little pressure so you can drain out. But at a certain point, there's a cavity, so they pump the salt water back in at a certain point. And so they fill up the remaining crevice where they took the oil out with salt water. And so there's a bunch of salt water lines through his property. But other than that, they took out most of the derrick stuff. We actually found a bunch back in the bottom where they couldn't get to with a wrecker or whatever. There still are some like footings and shit back there that you can see. It's really interesting.
That is neat, man. Talk about a place for a metal detector.
Yeah, right.
Where where the stuff was put in, because most of that stuff probably was put in by hand.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, who knows what you could find out there? Like, oh man, that's neat.
So, Ross, before we go to break, you want to do that one funny story you were telling us about?
Kenya, Dateline Kenya. Kenyan police announced they busted a giant scam in their country, arrested 8 people. They said they had some sort of scam involved with their transporting cash from Togo to Dubai, and they needed the help of 2 Dutch citizens to do it. Police busted the scam. There's a little bit of conflict in that they announced that the scam involved the sum of $439 trillion.
Holy.
That's about 200 times the dollars that are in existence.
So
how does
explain
that?
it to me.
Yeah, what?
We don't really know. It's hard to, talk to the Kenyan police about that one. But they're insisting they busted a scam in their country that was worth $439 trillion. Again,
are they trying to
about
get us to
200
believe
times
that so we'll like
Well,
give them?
Well, they did. On Instagram, they put a picture of a suitcase full of money, so it's hard to argue with.
Well, is their dollar inflated to the point where, this happens in some countries where it's
They
like,
announced 439 American trillions.
Oh, okay.
So,
And as you can see, that suitcase is full of $100 bills.
You know what? I can't argue with you, Ross. And after all the
They have
oil
no
stuff
idea.
you told me that was like so good and compelling, that was like some compelling oil shit. I have no reason to doubt you.
This BBC article is reporting many have questioned the figure the police have given, but authorities said it had been provided by officials in the Netherlands who are yet to comment on the matter. I don't know how they got the number from Netherlands officials.
I think I got some updated
Oh,
info here.
here you go. Update. Go to Sam.
Detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations yesterday announced that they had arrested 8 suspects in allegedly a $439 trillion mega fraud targeting 2 foreign businessmen from the Netherlands. The DSI said the suspects, posing as custom officers, tricked the businessmen into believing they had a consignment of 40 pallets containing $4 billion stuck at the Kenya Customs warehouse. They demanded a $36,000 duty fee to release the pallets, which were supposed to be flown to Dubai. When the businessmen arrived at the warehouse to pay the fee, DCI operatives acting on a tip-off stormed the premises and arrested the 8 suspects. However, the astronomical figure of $439 trillion raised skepticism amongst Kenyans on X, formerly Twitter, with many questioning the accuracy of the entire report. A user pointed out that the U.S. economy is valued at $26.95 trillion, making the alleged $439 trillion figure seem unrealistic. The chairman of President William Ruto's Council of Economic Affairs echoed the same sentiment, questioning how the amount could be 220 times the total of USD in circulation, which is estimated to around $2 trillion.
Is this as simple as like when Beetlejuice is on Howard Stern?
I think somebody maybe just did math wrong.
And then Gary asked her, "How tall are you, Beetle? How tall are you?" He's like, "I'm 100 feet tall." Is it that?
No.
Is it just that? Is it just the simplicity of they had to think of a number, they said it, they Beetlejuiced it?
Yeah, I'm going Beatles.
I think it's more like when the police pull me over and I have like a weed cart in my pocket, estimated street value $7,000.
Right. But it also says, in addition to the arrest, several boxes were seized, stashed with fake U.S. dollars, suspected stolen jungle fatigues for administration, police service officers, military boots, customs, reflector jackets, and other items. Investigations are ongoing to determine the full extent of the fraud and the source of the fake dollars. So I think there might be a little bit of like there's fake money. Yeah, so
that's confusing.
Imagine how much like fraud and like shipping fraud and stuff like how like so shipping much. Containers filled with stolen goods shipped around the world, like it just
and people
billions
and it's just like crazy shit. I mean, if you were able to, I think about pausing the world. That's one of my greatest fantasies in my brain, is pausing the world, and then I'm the only person that can walk around.
See what's going on?
Yeah, and just to like stop the world, and then like if I could pause the world and we could go out and we could board every vessel and see what's in it, you're gonna find some crazy ass shit.
Well, think about it. Like the entire world and every country is held together by loose flim-flam laws and people and
Mr.
Really,
Show used to say the world is run by a series of complex blowjobs.
And you're really relying on people to be honest and like not cheat the system and stuff. Like I remember hearing that like if like 10% of Americans lied on their taxes, like it would bring down our entire country. Some percentage that was small, like because there's not enough IRS agents, there's not enough police, military to keep everybody. Our society's held together.
Like
just
if we could get our shit together.
I'm hearing you say we need to riot. That's what I'm
you want to storm the Capitol? I'm with you. I'm sick of this shit.
See, culturally, you can understand that though. Like if you read enough BBC Africa, like you come across a story once, like pretty frequently actually, where there's a public service announcement: please don't kill albinos. They're not bad luck. They don't deserve to be murdered.
Yeah,
it's a different place.
Yeah,
right,
no, yeah.
Right.
Oh, no, 100%.
Albinos here, we cherish them.
And
like, if I see an albino here, I'm like, oh my God, elevated human.
And then it doesn't help if you live in a country where your police are corrupt.
Well,
and
your
baseline
level of freedom is shit, you know, like.
And you're like, well, they're stealing, the whole, like, everybody's corrupt, so I'm going to do whatever I want.
Right.
But still, they're held together by, like, the general decency of humans, most people just want to eat, sleep, fuck, and survive, and live a comfortable life, And
this is the speech you should have given the kids.
You should have said the boys.
They want to eat, drink, and fuck.
Yeah, eat, sleep, fuck,
guys.
That's all.
Let's do it.
Most humans are simple.
Eat, sleep, fuck on 5.
Yeah, they're not out to do other people harm. They're kind of, they have a scales of justice, and they're like, they don't want to steal other people's shit for the most part.
Speaking of people like that, do we want to talk about Puff Daddy? Or
Yeah.
Talk about it. We'll do Puff Daddy and we'll go to break.
Okay, dude.
That's his dead name. He's P. Diddy. Or I think he's just Diddy now.
I don't know.
I will.
Sean
Look,
Combs.
if you, I do this for everybody. If you, except for like, well, even Drunky, you get called that sometimes. Look, if it was a name, it's your name. Sorry.
No, I know.
If you're Puff Daddy,
he's very particular.
Fucking Puff Daddy.
If he gets out of this shit, he will change his name again. Guaranteed.
Also, if it's like a name you made up for yourself, and then you decide that's not the name you made up for yourself, go.
I don't think you should get to make up your own name either. That's another one that I just have always disagreed with.
I don't know. The internet's a thing. So he. His longtime girlfriend, was she his girlfriend at some point?
I don't think they ever got married.
Cassie, an R&B singer, she was on the Bad Boy label, filed a suit, federal district court in Manhattan, claiming a lot of stuff. This is the New York Times article, so it's got a lot of shit that like I didn't see until I read this one.
Is it gross?
It's bad.
she was 19 when they met. This is all quotes from the New York Times article. He began a pattern of control and abuse that included plying her with drugs, beating her, forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. I think it says later in the article that he called those like freak shows.
Those were his sex parties, yeah.
But he had like a pet name.
I believe it
for
was
them.
freak shows, yeah.
And so
That's a good pet name.
He would make her like pick out prostitutes online to do this with and stuff, according to this lawsuit, of course.
Dudes?
His point of view is that she has been demanding $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship. That's his point of view on it. His lawyer, one of their lawyers says he did offer her 8 figures to silence her, and she rejected that.
That's not a good sign, is it?
No.
I mean, like...
He also
I don't know how these things play out anymore, and I don't know what's best practice, because some people say you should pay it and get it out of your life, and some people are like, no, if I'm innocent, I'm going to fight to be Yeah, I don't know.
He's paid off a lot of people.
If you got the money, why not fight it, right? He asked her to carry a gun in her purse.
That's not bad. I've asked Andrea to carry my vape cards all the time in the Amway, because I'm like, if you get popped, it's totally fine. You'll talk your way out of it. You're a nerd.
Okay, 40% of Florida dads ask their wife to carry a gun in the purse.
I think it's higher than that. You haven't been to B-Dub-Dubs lately. At B-Dub-Dubs, I see more people go back to their truck to leave their gun in the car.
He threatened her with retribution, like suppressing her music if she did not obey his orders. The suit says, at one point dangled a friend of hers over a 17th floor hotel balcony.
Wait a minute, that's Shook now. You're confusing them all
He's
now.
a fucking hack,
He
too,
does that a
of all
lot,
things.
yeah. He's little, too. He ain't dangling nobody over nothing. That's like me dangling Tom. I can't dangle. I can't even dangle my dick. There's no dangling when you're 5'2". And what is he, 5'3"?
It says, like, right after she signed with him, he began to control her career, paid for her car and apartments and clothing, and had access to her personal medical records, including the results of an MRI scan that he possibly caused by beating her.
Yeah.
Provided
Well, hold on. He should be allowed to look at her MRI to see what he did.
provided her with drugs.
Sorry, I'm uncomfortable.
Often became violent, beating her, quote, multiple times a year, end quote. My personal favorite touch, he was mad that she dated Kid Cudi, so he said, I'm going to blow up Kid Cudi's car. And around that time, Kid Cudi had a car blow up in his driveway.
Correct.
Kid Cudi, through a spokesperson, has confirmed this is all true. End quote.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second.
He blew up
everything
Kid
else you have
Cudi's car?
told me. I didn't. I'm just like, he said, she said,
know.
he said, she said,
What,
he
like
said,
the
she
Godfather?
said. Then you get to cut Kid Cudi. And by the way,
no.
big fan, love me some Kid Cudi
is
because
that attempted murder
he seems
or
to know what he's
Dude.
doing, and he draws line in the sand, and I like Cudi.
Takes time for mental health.
Yeah,
is not afraid to
he's
discuss issues in
super
public.
Smart. Yeah, he's a smart guy. I think I love Kid Cudi. So Puff Daddy said he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and we can't connect the dots. But Kid Cudi says my car did blow up.
According to the article, Mr. Combs grew so angry about her dating the rapper Kid Cudi that he said he would blow up the rapper's car. Around that time, the suit says, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. Through a spokeswoman, Kid Cudi confirmed the account that he had a car that exploded. Quote, this is all true, he said.
So
Yeah.
what? Why didn't we hear about Kid Cudi's car blowing up?
I have no fucking idea. Except for the fact that Puff Daddy pays off a lot of people.
Yes, he does.
Allegedly. At one point, he attacked her in a hotel and threw a number of cut glass vases at her and paid, according to this lawsuit, $50,000 to the
Yes.
hotel to get the footage from
To
them.
get the security footage
And
from
then-
the hotel.
I have always wanted to throw vases at somebody. I'll just throw that out
How
there.
does Puff Daddy have so much money?
He
Because-
owned all the rights to all the music
And Ciroc.
of everybody on that record label.
And they say he's in this article.
Ciroc, too,
they
yeah.
say the of his $1 billion estimated valuation, a lot of it is from his Ciroc endorsement.
Gotcha. So
he was one of the first, if I remember correctly, to when he did that deal. He didn't just do the deal; it was
got
like an
cut, too.
unprecedented
Yeah.
amount of money that he was getting,
Yeah.
And then getting on the back end. So when that thing exploded, it didn't even matter if it's popular now.
So that's where everybody, 50 Cent got into vitamin water, and everybody said, Dre got with the beats, and that's how you make
That is how you
real
make-
money.
yeah.
So
There's not, if you really think about it, and this is a strange statement, but there's not a ton of money in art. There really isn't. And the music, you can make a ton of money.
the
That's not
business
what
of
I'm
it,
saying.
not as being an
I'm
artist,
just
yeah.
saying, the business of the liquor, that's where you're going to make the billions.
So she is describing a crazy maniac. You know,
I've never heard anything like that.
There's been rumblings about the dark side of P. Diddy for a long time.
You and I've talked about this a little bit, and I kind of sucks because I'm not saying I like the guy, but like I like his music, and he did an album, that Dirty Money album. I love that.
Yeah, that song is really fucking good.
It's so
I'm Coming
good.
Home.
Yeah,
that's a really good fucking song.
That whole album is amazing, but like when you hear these type of things, you're like, Jesus Christ, man.
So he called them freak-offs. And this was Puff Daddy coercing her to engage in a fantasy his called voyeurism, in which she was directed to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while Mr. Combs watched, masturbated, took pictures, and shot video.
Wash your hands before you pick up your camera.
That's cuckold.
They involve they involve
that's
costumes.
More than voyeurism. I mean, it's cuckold when it's your girl, or your wife, or whatever.
Also says that he instructed her to search the websites of escort services to procure male sex workers.
Well, I tell Andrea to do that.
Well,
but they're for me.
Well, the thing is that if she is a willing participant, obviously
she wasn't. So you don't understand how victimization works.
No, I know. I'm not saying she was or wasn't.
In the lawsuit, she alleges that he forced her to do these things.
Yeah, right.
Not that she consented and wanted to do these things.
Yeah, no, of course. But I'm saying that particular act isn't illegal unless...
Out of all of them, the least, picking out a couple escorts, not too bad.
And then the cherry on top, the last thing is that in 2018, after they met for dinner, he forced himself into her apartment. This is according to the lawsuit. He forced himself into her apartment and raped her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. After that, she left him for good.
You know, I think when people hear this shit, and you just hear, obviously, just the headlines, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think a lot of people's first instinct is to say, like, well, why didn't she just leave? And then you're like, you forget about the years and years of...
I mean, he knew her since she was 19. He groomed her since then and basically was like, owned her life.
Manipulation.
Right?
And so,
what does she control? What I mean? In that scenario, when you don't control anything,
and you start because at the surface level you just hear the story and you're just like, well, I don't know, why didn't she just leave? And then I'm sure certain people are like, well, she's just trying to get money out of him or whatever.
Right.
But then you start looking and you see documentaries of people that do like fucking R. Kelly and these other monsters where they are manipulating these humans so badly and gaslighting them.
And they're scared. Think of how powerful P. Diddy is. He's done this multiple times to other people and gotten away with it.
This person's the most powerful person that you know or that you've ever seen. A billionaire that has all the celebrity and stuff, and then they do this to other people, and it's a fucking act of a monster. You know what I'm saying? Like you doing that to another human, it means that it's the worst possible thing. It means you're a psychopath.
We're seeing more of it now. No, you're exactly right. We're seeing more of it now. And another one that kind of struck me wrong, like the P. Diddy one, I'm like, God. And then like the Jonah Hill one, when I was reading those text messages, I'm just like listening to the shit he was saying. I'm like,
but then there's dickheads out there. There's just some dickheads. There was like Jonah Hill. I'm just like, well, the guy's a dickhead. He's not a fucking monster. He was just a dickhead.
Yeah, he's not good.
I don't know that, but I'm just saying you read these reports and like, now obviously it's her side of the story. I'm sure they're trying to find all the evidence. I mean, there has to be some evidence of all this.
It's not looking good because it seems like in order to take something like this, to where you need it to be, you wouldn't want to do that without evidence. So.
Are there like criminal charges being filed?
Yes. Let's see here.
And hopefully it'll encourage more people to come out because I know there's been allegedly a lot of other victims over the years. So.
Now, on the comedy side of it, if I was a billionaire and crazy had anything I wanted, like having a human slave is a pretty cool.
Yeah, but I would not.
And treating them the way I wanted.
Okay, if I were a billionaire,
what else are you going to do?
I don't see a scenario, though, where I'm a billionaire and I'm making Andrea pick out like some dudes to fuck her while I'm going to stand around and masturbate.
You can't see that scenario?
No.
That's what crazy billionaire. You've ever seen The Mask?
I have everything but the billionaire part. No, I think it would.
You're so bored of everything.
It would hurt my feelings with her. I mean, I could have some other girls I don't care about that do. I am crazy, but I'm too emotional. I think I'm too emotional to pull off the billionaire.
Well, you don't do that to the mother of your children.
I know.
You do that to your slave.
That's what I'm saying. I would do it to somebody else.
This seemed like were they in a open public relationship? Like who?
What do you mean by open public?
Like,
Well, I just mean,
people knew they were
oh,
dating.
yeah, they've been together for years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they were like going to events together and stuff, and this is all happening crazy behind the scenes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I didn't know what
damn.
because I don't know anything about celebrities, so I don't know who.
Yeah,
this
I
person-
didn't know of her.
I don't know
I didn't
anything-
even know her name. Like, I mean, she isn't somebody I'm familiar with because honestly, I've listened to P. Diddy's music. I know who he is and what he does. I don't really know his. I don't know who he's dating. I don't know who he's with.
If we ever get the technology to like get into a brain and just see everything and peel it all back the whole way back, I want to run the brain on P. Diddy because I want to figure out at what point do you get bored with just fucking the hottest chick you can find. At what point is that so fucking boring
I don't
that
think
you're like,
that-
you know what?
that's not how it works.
I can't even be bothered to do that. You pick the guy that's going to come in to fuck you. I'll just film.
Well, but
Like,
then you
what
hear
the
those.
there's
Remember,
a-
you hear all those old stories about like Tupac was so bored with all the hot women that he had that he was trying like gay stuff because he was bored. But then I think about that, and I'm like,
That's all out about Diddy, too, yeah.
He would have already been like that's already in you. You're not like I don't think you're just like you know what I mean. Like I think you're just like more
you know
open to
how
it or
many
not more
times-
open to it.
No,
Do
yeah,
you-
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
don't just get bored of
Exactly.
banging girls and you're
And
like,
then
I'll try a dick.
No, you've always had that in you, and that's your
Yeah,
thing.
you're just banging different girls.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe, well, unless you are gay or bisexual
Yeah, I
or
think you're
attracted
always
to
gay.
men.
Yeah, I think if you're gay,
you're not
gay.
attracted to men, you're not just going to get bored into dicks.
I guess it begs the question.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
that's how it
either.
works. I mean,
Did he used to watch Biggie fuck ladies?
well,
100%.
Right? You gotta
Yeah.
figure. You gotta figure.
yeah, I mean, this kid.
Everybody. That's why he has those freak-off parties.
Does he have tape?
Yes, he's got footage on everybody, dude. That's why he blackmails everybody. That's why you haven't heard shit like really come out, except for like in the
He does
blog.
seem very insulated. Man, I hate to lean into anything conspiracy-ish, but that one
A lot of people won't speak out about him because they either end up dead or
Yeah.
some shit goes down.
There's some weird, like Epstein shit every once in a while where it's just like, how did this motherfucker get away with this
Yeah.
for so long?
He's
And
on
then-
that level.
Yeah.
because
People think he killed his wife, Kim Porter.
Yeah,
His
A
wife
lot
died?
of people think that, yeah.
how'd she die? Like in a
I
mysterious
believe it was
way?
pneumonia, officially,
I
right?
thought it was pneumonia, if I remember correctly.
And it's young to die from pneumonia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
She had abuse. She had multiple abuse.
It's not the first
Well,
time this has
allegations
popped up.
against
Like, you know,
But it goes back to his question, like, how was this just rolling down the track?
Like if I die and then you go into my pool shed and there's some weird sex dungeon in there, you're like, did he just build this? I've been into it for a while.
Mister.
He's like, not like, oh, this last week he just decided to do it.
You
Like,
gotta
no,
have
no.
somewhere to pin up your boudoir photos.
yeah, exactly.
You know, it's funny. Before
Move
this,
him to the shed.
the only thing I ever heard about P. Diddy, and again, I follow no celebrity news. I don't care.
Yeah, I think that's why this is so shocking
But
for you.
I remember it coming out that P. Diddy liked tantric sex. And
Yeah.
and I remember even then I was like, really? I was like,
Yeah, he
weird.
would have sex for like 72 hours or something. Like, it
But
was,
that was a story. But that was it. Like,
Yeah.
and all this other shit he kept hitting. That's what's
Well,
fascinating
hidden
to me.
to people like you, right? Again, like I've heard this for decades.
Well, rumors, yeah. There have been rumors about P.
that
Diddy
he
forever.
that he groomed Usher. That's why Usher was living with him for years before he
Yeah.
finally hit it big, and then he did the same with Justin Bieber. He has these like music camps where he has young boys come and stay.
Well, hold
with
on
adults.
a second. Let's not assassinate the music camps. I've been running those for years, and they're all the up and up. All right, it's just me and some boys strumming our ukuleles.
Yeah. You all
Yeah,
sleep.
it's fine.
You sleep in the same bed. Where
Yeah.
we're sleeping.
Everybody's
Yeah.
up in Michael Jackson's ass about this shit, but P. Diddy's been doing that shit too, and just he calls it his parties,
We
right?
sleep in the same bed because it builds cohesiveness for my ukulele band. It's me and 7 ukulele boys.
It's a big bed. Michael Jackson. What is
It's a huge bed.
He's
It's a sleep
103
number.
pounds as a skeleton.
Yeah, it's a sleep number
Take up
bed.
much
I'm
space.
only 5'2". I could fit I could almost fit 30 boys in there. Let's go to break. All right. The name of the band. This is my pick of the week. This is like new. This to me is like a new band you would have heard on Sub Pop Records like back in the 90s. Like this band to me has like Sonic Youth vibes. So enjoy this. The name of the band is Freako. The name of the song is Crashing Through. The guitar on this is just sick. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time. 1-844-TOMNDAN. Show at TomandDan.com for emails. Be right back. Streamline Mortgage. You can check them out at streamlineflorida.com. But that's our buddy Brian Zeimel. And if you have questions regarding your mortgage or refis or any of that, you got to talk to him.
Yep, his cell phone number's right on streamlineflorida.com under the Tom and Dan logo. You can text him, you can call him, he'll help you out with anything mortgage related. And I know that Crystal's been telling me that they are projecting that interest rates will eventually go down next year.
Yeah, we're on the, what do they call that? The corner.
Yeah, so the market is kind of moving now because people are like, well, I should buy now while I still have negotiation power with my, with the house I'm buying, and then I can refi later down the line. Just talk to Brian. He'll set you up with a plan. They're also doing home equity lines of credit right now. Yep. So if you want to take some money out of your house currently, maybe use details to redo your kitchen or something like that.
Put some flooring in from At Home Floor Store. I mean, there's plenty of things you can do.
Yeah, exactly. So just the first step is to talk to Brian Zeimel. So go to streamlineflorida.com, find his cell phone number, and give him a call.
That is D-Cracks with Burnout. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
That was to celebrate, I guess, D-Cracks being a band for 20 years. You're finding a lot of good punk rock music came out about 20 to 25 years ago. You're going to see a lot of, whether it's Pennywise, NoFX, D-Cracks, AFI. It seems like that was a really influential period in punk rock music.
White guys really wanted to scream at George Bush back then.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We have a lot more to scream about now, but nothing. Like, absolutely nothing.
I know George Bush is not really doing that much.
Not even that bad. Not that bad.
Threw up in the lap of some...
was that Herbert or was that...
That was a Herbert Walker, yeah.
Okay.
Not Junior.
Yeah.
Or was it Junior?
I thought
no, it was the older one.
It was the older one.
Yeah.
It was the older one.
Oh,
okay.
It was the Read My Lips, No New Taxes.
Yeah.
That was him, right?
Yeah.
What was the most, the thing that George Bush, George W. did that everybody was screaming about? It wasn't much. It was
I liked when he declared the war. He was in the flight suit.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
But of all the things now, comparatively, it was just like, he said mission accomplished. Like,
Yeah.
The mission wasn't accomplished.
Personal favorite, he's in a kindergarten class reading like Goodnight Moon or something to some kids. Dude walks in, tells him 9/11 happened. He looks up for a second and goes back to reading the book.
Hold on. What was he supposed to do? I'm with W. At this point,
there's nothing I can do. The guys that are handling it. I'll finish this book like a cool dude.
So on the line with us,
What line is he on?
Line one.
we haven't talked to this gentleman in a while.
I can assure you George Bush does not care about him.
All right, on the line with us right now. We love this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him, and he's going to talk to us about hip-hop. It's our good friend D-Rug. What's up?
What's going on, fellas?
Good to talk to you, man. How you been?
Man, I've been doing good, man. Just chilling,
So
back in my rapping mode now.
Yeah. Congratulations on the new album, man. When'd you put that out?
I put it out on my birthday, August 11th.
Nice. Congratulations, man. And it is the Magnificent Asshole 2?
2. No Manny Fucks Given.
All right. I love it.
So D-Rug, Daniel told me about Andre 3000's new album, and I was like, oh, that's cool. My son actually... my oldest son Tommy, which is weird, his favorite song, if we ask him to request a song, it's Wheels of Steel,
which is an awesome
song.
Well, he got good taste in music.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean,
very odd.
He's gonna get the old heads are gonna think that Tommy's like an old hip hop guy.
You can tell by his shoes.
He wears Champions. He wears bright red Champions.
Anyway, so
he's a little thugster.
But then Daniel told me that this is a completely all flute album, and so what do you think about this, D-Rug?
Oh man, that shit is ass cheeks.
It's ass cheeks.
Now, I thought it was like hip hop with flute, but apparently it's just all flute.
It's
It's
electronic
all
flute, regular flute.
Put it like this: I'm not surprised Andre would do something like this because if you look at the Outkast discography, every album is different. You know what I'm saying? But I waited so fucking long for him to drop an album just to give me this fucking Legend of Zelda music. I don't want to hear that shit.
Is there any like
I listened to it this
hip-hop
morning. No, you
at all?
stop asking that.
Okay, so it's all
Stop. Like Andre 3000 wants you to stop asking that. Stop asking that.
Okay.
Andre himself. In fact, he's played flutes on some of Outkast's songs, and we didn't know it. He's apparently
And other artists, yeah.
Apparently, this dude has straight up been a fluteman for a
a
very
long
long time, and he's coming to us hat in hand. And D-Rug, I'm having a very tough time because, in one hand, I want to be okay with him releasing a flute album because I never want to look at an artist that I admire and be like, well, your art is shit. Right? Like, I want it, but it's really, I listened to the whole thing this morning and I did a full spin, and I can tell you, and it hurts my heart, I don't think I'll ever listen to it again, and it sucks. It makes me so sad that I'm never going to listen to it again. D-Rug, you know how much I like Outkast.
Me too, man. You know, it's like my favorite group of all time.
I know.
But is there like a market for flautists out there? Like, do people seek out flute music?
I mean, I listen
It's good for
to...
like
I think it is
meditation.
now because the whole internet is talking about this album. Man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm seeing the mixed reviews, but me personally, nah, I can't do that.
I'm just being honest with you. I don't want to lie to you guys and say that I'm going to play this even when I'm going to bed. When I go to bed, I have like deep sleep playlist on Spotify. There's a sleep channel on XM. I usually use that stuff, and I don't care what it sounds like. It just has to sound like a drone or like maybe like brown noise, something like that. I'm not going to put this on. I'm just not going to do it.
All due
I
respect
think
to you.
I'm gonna give it a shot when I eat some shrooms, man.
Okay, I can see that. Like maybe putting it on and trying to like relate to it or I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna try to get in touch with it, but I can't let it go because it's 3,000. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, God.
I want to support him. I want to.
Have you read the track names?
They're hilarious.
They're ridiculous.
That's the best part of the album is the track listing.
He has
the
one of
name?
them is called To Infinity and Beyonce. That's so you. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to rap that though.
Yes, that's what I said. I said like the one he said when the time he turned to a panther and made purring sounds.
Yeah,
in
he's-
Hawaii, he did some shit. I
Yeah,
was
he's
just
like
why
one time
would
in
he not
Hawaii, I
rap
turned
this
into a
stuff?
panther and laid there and made purring sounds that drew you in. And I'm like, that's what we wanted, but we wanted you to rap that.
Yeah, that's the same shit I felt. I was like, damn, why you didn't spit this, man? At least sing it.
But it does put into perspective when people go to you, Tom, and say, or like for D-Rug, when people were going to you and you didn't have new music out and people are like, you're doing comedy, and people are like, when are you going to do rap? I mean, or Tom, somebody comes up to you and says like, look, I love Tom and Dan, but when are you going to be Drunk at the Bear? When are you going to do a stunt? Or people come up to me and say, hey, do a funny voice or do the thing. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I've moved on from that.
Yeah, but it's
I'm
similar.
still into that shit. But I didn't come back and play a fucking tuba.
That's true.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm
true.
saying. Like,
No, you're right. You're right.
It's
You're right.
so outside of the genre of audience that he's built.
But only because we didn't know he was doing that. Maybe if he'd included us throughout the
No,
Outkast.
they say for the last like 5 years, people was like spotting him out playing the flute. Like they'd spot him in
out in
like
the streets.
random places just
like
playing
in
the flute.
Japan, there was a video of him.
Yeah.
Some guy goes, are you Andre? And you look at him, and he doesn't really look like Andre because his hair is a little different and everything. But he's sitting there playing a flute, and he's like, yeah, I am. And he starts talking with the guy.
And there are certain artists that at a certain point in their career, they make up their mind, you know what? I'm going to do one for me. I don't give a fuck what you all think about it. I have, for example, Steve Martin became one of the greatest banjo artists in the world. Nobody fucking cares. He keeps pushing the banjo because that's what he likes to do. Andre clearly loves playing the flute to the point where he knew this wasn't going to go over huge. He knew Outkast fans weren't going to like this. He knew it, and he said, I like playing the flute. Here's my fucking flute album. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, let's take Steve Martin as an example. That's a good example because we saw him and he's played the banjo at Dr. Phillips, and he's like, I'm going to work this in everywhere I can, right?
Yeah.
But if I looked around at Dr. Phillips, and there were some people that are like, I like this banjo, because
he is one of the greatest who is alive currently.
But also, there was a bunch of old white people that like banjo. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for Andre, he picked flute, and I feel like all the audience he built.
You're missing the point. He didn't pick the flute. The flute picked him.
Yeah, he did say that's the way the wind blew.
One of the track albums or one of the track listing names is I swear I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. time.
Yeah.
That's the name of a track.
I do like that. I mean, I do like that, but it's just not something I'm going to revisit.
Could he have picked something that his audience liked less than flute? That's what I'm like. It seems like as far as instrument, because if you're selling music,
theremin,
sounds of swimming.
I heard he was down to this or $1 versus $100 popcorn.
I mean, but at the end of the day, this is 3,000. He's been pushing the envelope since day one. So
yeah, but this is like this is less envelope pushing and more. I don't even know what to say. Okay, I'll give you an example. It was like when Jerry Springer put out a country western album.
Did he?
Yeah.
How about Chris Gaines?
Yeah, or Rick Moranis put out a country music album.
Garth Brooks changed his whole look. He's now I'm a pop star named Chris Gaines. And
It's
but
weird.
I mean, it's still singing, right?
But I guess it's art. At the end of the day, it's like this is what he wants to do. He's an artist. He puts it out. Who cares? Like and obviously it probably got a lot of downloads because everybody started talking about how weird it was, and they wanted to listen to it. But then they're disappointed, right? There's no one that listened to this, and they're like, "All right, it's pretty good." Everybody's like, "This is weird," and I'll never listen to it again, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of
I've been seeing mixed reviews from it. I see a lot of people that say they like it. I see a lot of people that don't like it. So.
How about you want a successful version of it? How about Stephen King? He wrote like Christine and like Firestarter and stuff, and then he was like, "Well, you know what? I got a few under my belt that are like." They're dark, but they're not like Stephen King-y, so I'm going to put some stuff out under Richard Bachman and see if it floats. And I don't think it did, and then they released it with Stephen King.
Here's a hit that you may not have heard before. This is from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This is Rick Moranis with his hit song, 9 More Gallons.
I work all day to pay the rent before the money's earned. Well, it's all been allocated.
Okay, there you go. That is Rick Moranis from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You can find his cowboy album.
I am listening
to
that.
It's a straight country western album. No jokes. He takes it dead serious. So don't fuck around.
He said, "I work all day to pay the rent," and then he could have rhymed it with something was spent. Not Alex.
Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, this is good.
I work all day.
All right, he works all day.
To pay the rent before the money's earned. Well, it's all been allocated.
Oh, it's a joke because it's supposed to be it's all been spent.
Yeah,
and then he's saying,
he's an intellectual.
Here, we're making D-Rug bad. Sorry, D-Rug.
I see what he's doing. Moranis, you got me again.
Not more anus.
More anus, you got me again.
So,
all right, let's pivot to Snoop now.
Yeah, the second thing we wanted to talk to you about is I saw it all over social media, and it looks like Snoop Dogg is announcing the death of someone, and he's saying that he quit smoking weed, and
he asked for privacy during this time,
which I thought that's a joke, right? He's joking around.
We see how long this lasts. He did this before.
Yeah, he did this before. He did it. I think D-Rug. Didn't he do it when he was coming out of his Snoop Lion?
Yeah, I was about to say.
And you'll never find you're a huge Snoop fan, aren't you?
Yeah, that's my favorite rapper.
Yeah, I mean, so is this surprising to you? Do you believe it? What do you think's up?
I don't know. I think he's for real, but I don't think it's gonna last long. Like Snoop, that's part of Snoop. Weed and Snoop go together.
It's his brand.
I started smoking weed because of Snoop Dogg.
Uh-huh.
When I first heard the Chronic, I wanted to smoke some Chronic. So weed and Snoop goes together. So we'll see how long this lasts.
I have a feeling he's just giving up, because if you look at the verbiage, he says giving up smoke. I don't think he's giving up weed.
Yeah, like THC.
Yeah, I think he's still going to have edibles.
Yeah, so is it an edible company that he's launching? Is that why he's doing this?
I don't know about that, because he's got flour for sale.
Well,
but
because he needs, from what I know about THC, because I take it every day, is that I'll do anything to keep it. So I'd get it out.
I was a lightweight.
I'll suck Ross's dick.
Oh my God.
I'm addicted to it.
If I don't suck it first, you ain't sucking it. I'll get to it first.
I'm just saying, saying that you start doing THC every day.
Yeah.
You can't just stop. You're going to wean yourself off, and you're going to be mad.
I smoke. I vape a full cart a day.
Like,
no, I don't. That's a lot.
So I'm sure, like, Sam's right. He said, I'm giving up smoke, so maybe he's not smoking it, but he's still eating it or getting it somehow. Like, he's getting the THC, right?
Oh, yeah, I believe he's going to be edibles or THC pills or something.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do a new Coke, and like he's gonna stop smoking for a while, and then he's gonna launch a new flower brand, and he's gonna be like, "This is the one that brought me back into the fold."
Or like this is the only weed I will smoke.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
It's going to be part of
Tom,
his
you got
branding at some
spinach in your
point.
teeth.
Because ever since
It's weed. He's eating it now.
dude, he started hanging out with Martha Stewart, and then every move he makes now is a marketing
Yeah,
move.
they literally just put out a bag together where
Special lighters. was a big
with
thing over the
special
summer.
lighters and
Did
like
you see the double wine? Where
No.
it's what is it?
True Crimes.
What is it? 19 Crimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yes,
one. That
yeah,
So
one.
they
yeah.
put
Yeah,
one
I
that's
bought
Snoop's
some
wine,
of that.
and one
Shit,
is
by the
Martha
way.
because she went to jail too. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
She did her time like a G.
I bought Crystal the Snoop Dogg wine.
it was not good.
Yeah, we have it too.
It was dark yellow.
It's disgusting.
It looked like an old World War II man's piss.
I'm not joking. Crystal was sick the next day. Like, she couldn't get out of bed.
Oh my god.
Like, because-
Maybe it was bad.
No,
know
it
what
just
else
got
is,
so hungover. She's like, oh my
so
god.
sweet.
It is very sweet.
It's too it's all sugar. Holy fuck.
Master P on Instagram the other day. I was just thinking about this. He made a big post about how like names are brands. Like how you spend money on a Bentley, but that's a family name, and I think it was in conjunction with him and Snoop are launching like also some like pre-made like mixed dinner type stuff. Like Snoop's mom is getting like a mac and cheese and cornbread,
What, like a Hungry Man?
like
Or
a frozen
more like a hamburger helper
They
type
already
thing.
got
Is
cereal out.
that what it is? I knew the cereal,
Snoop Dogg has cereal?
but I think his
yeah.
mom is like
Yeah.
coming out with some mixes where you can like
Snoop
mix
Dogg
up
and Mac
some
and cheese got
food.
cereal.
Is it any good?
I mean, it tastes like you remember how you get the Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops,
and then
yeah.
You get the Fruit O's.
Yeah.
It tastes like the Fruit O's.
Okay, so like it tastes like generic cereal. I'm into that.
Well,
But I kept a box. I kept one for a collection.
Yeah, man, you got to because that's something that means a lot to you. Everything else been good, man? You got anything to plug, or you want people to pick up your album?
Man, make sure y'all go get that new album, man. Stream it, run it up, man. I've been getting a lot of feedback. Thanks to you guys, man. The BDMs, man. They see me out, man, and they all tell me what songs they love.
That's
it's
awesome.
great having a relationship with you guys,
Hell
man.
yeah,
and
man.
these guys still fuck with me, man.
We don't
So-
talk to you enough, man. We apologize for that.
Darius, come through
it's
Shit
cool,
Sandwich
man.
tomorrow, dude.
We get busy, and then we do. Yeah, come through.
Darius, come through Shit Sandwich
Yep.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming out tomorrow. I already seen it. I was like, I'm gonna make. What time y'all in though?
10:30, 11. I can push it if you need.
Okay, hell yeah. I'm gonna definitely do that then.
All right, sweet. I'll see you there.
also, D-Rug, come out to our beer fest, too. There's going to be
man.
a bunch of BDMs there that would like to see you. It's tomorrow in
Hell
Sanford.
yeah. What time that end? Because I got my niece turning 1 tomorrow, man, and I got to go to her birthday party.
This
You
is
can bring
better
her.
than a
You
birthday
can bring
party. I've been to many
Free beer.
kids' birthday parties.
Free beer for kids.
yeah.
But now, shit, that's what I'm going because it's Classic Weekend, and I was just
Yeah.
telling my team, I was like, man, look, Classic Weekend, whatever, but we got to hit that time and dance shit. That's where we popping at, man.
It's the anti-classic weekend. It's all white. All whites. Unseasoned.
Drunk honkies.
If you want to see some cars that are completely stock and some unseasoned food, come on out. We love you, buddy. We hope you're good, and we hope to see you this weekend, okay?
All right, no problem, man. Thank you, guys.
All right,
see you,
man.
dude.
Love you, buddy. Be good. He's a wonderful, wonderful dude, man. I'm so glad
I
we
did
met
not
that
know
guy.
about this. The Broadest Foods. It is the first black-owned breakfast food company.
And that's
Really?
that's the one that is like Snoop Dogg's mom's making.
Okay.
I think some,
That's cool.
Well, like Snoop Dogg's he's been a celebrity long enough. Like he knows the business. Like he sees how media works. He knows how to
Yeah.
He
promote
stopped
himself.
killing guys a while ago.
In his 20s,
Yeah.
he was like doing. Remember, he had a series of porno tapes
No,
Oh, yeah.
I see it.
that he would advertise. I own them. That he would advertise late at night with it was like
What-
Snoop Dogg presents, and the idea of it was he's in the studio cutting tracks, but then like some girl would be in the vocal booth like blowing Lingo and one of his homies. It was awesome.
And then they have pool parties.
The pool party scene, yeah.
We went.
You've seen it. We have seen all the same porno.
In college, we rented it at some like.
Don't tell people that. Don't tell people that.
So like it was 2000.
So Snoop's cereal is he's got Fruity Hoops with a Z.
Fruity Hoops.
Frosted Drizzlers.
Wait, that doesn't sound good.
And Cinnamon Toasties with a Z. And then his pancake mix is Mama Snoop's pancake mix.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
And also oatmeal and grits.
I don't want no Snoop oatmeal.
Oh, I do some Snoop grits.
Mama
I would do
Snoop.
Snoop grits. Yeah.
I remember when Snoop first came out, he was like 19 years old, and he was like, I remember like Tipper Gore and like all those type people that hated rap or whatever, they were really against him because he was on trial for like shooting a guy while he was blowing up and becoming famous.
Yeah. The whole murder
What was
was the
his
case.
first song? Deep cover? Do, 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 do.
I just remember Doggy Style.
Yeah,
I remember when
Deep
Doggy
Cover.
Style came out.
Was he, so he would the actual details of the trial, like was it something where it was a total like false accusation, or was it something where like his buddy probably did it?
This
he was
is
in the
like
car?
40 years ago ish, but I want to say it was something where like
I have no recollection of any details.
And I could be completely wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but I believe the accusation was that like at a party, some guy dissed him, just like in the fucking song, and shot him, and then handed off the gun to another guy, something like that.
Yeah.
is
It
what
was
I kind of
Snoop's
remember.
bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was his bodyguard.
This
that
is
shot
again-
him.
And he was in Snoop's car at the
Okay.
time.
Gotcha. Okay. So, but they charged Snoop with murder.
First-degree murder after a member of a rival gang
I think
was shot
murder
and
was
killed
the
by
case
Snoop's
that they
bodyguard.
gave him, if I remember correctly. So you can punch me if you want to.
Dan, is it fun if the homies can't have none?
No. It ain't no.
What about Barry Manilow did you want to talk about?
Okay, I feel really bad now. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I feel really bad because I started looking into Barry Manilow and then realizing that I didn't realize what a torturous, closeted gay life he lived, you know? So I wanted to really be mean and talk about, because I saw him, he was on Entertainment Tonight last night, and I think he wrote and arranged all the music in this new Broadway play, and it's all 4-part harmony. And it's I think the Broadway play or musical is about the sort of the original boy band of the 1920s or something. And he wrote all the music for him. So he's out on the red carpet. And they showed him, and he's so smooth and plastic surgeried that he appears to look as if he is a Pinocchio doll.
He's kind of looked like that for a while.
Yeah, he has, and I feel really bad and judgmental now because I was like, you can make fun of me. I mean, I'm an M-word, R-word, whatever you want to say, big nose, whatever. But when I'm looking at him, my question is...
Well, he did it to himself.
Right, that's my question is...
He looks like Lady Elaine.
From Mr. Rogers. God damn it, we're on the same
He's looked like that for a couple years now. With the hair and everything. With the wiry bristle hair.
But it sucks because I think the guy's super talented, and obviously he's lived a pretty non-authentic life, right? He married his manager way back in the day, and this has been, I think, in the 70s, and he's had to keep that a secret for his entire life. There's no way to live, right? But when you look at what he did look like, and when you look at him now, here's a good photo of him. It's just an odd look. And I'm surprised that this continues to be a thing because we all know that it doesn't look good.
Well, what the problem is...
They start and then they can't stop.
Yeah, you can't stop because it all fall apart, and then you'll be way worse.
But then,
melty.
I feel like your doctor owes it to you, though, to...
But he is 80 years old.
He probably
pretty damn good for it. Okay, hold on a
When
second.
my pop-up was 80, his face looked like an old baseball mitt. You know what I mean? It's been sunbeaten for 80 years. He'd never even put sunscreen on.
Okay, there's a good one. There's a good
Smooth.
one. Look at how effing smooth he is.
Yeah, because although of all the Botox jobs, they're pretty good.
Not
He
that
probably
bad.
also got started in the 80s where they didn't quite have it dialed in yet.
Right.
They just had a
Yes.
couple of procedures, but they fell apart after a minute, and you had to get them picked back up.
It was just one of those things when I saw it, it was I'm watching TV and they're like, and they're showing the 4-part harmony and the guys are singing on the red carpet, and then they cut to Barry Manilow and I was like, oh my God. What is that?
This is a thing of the past, too, because when Justin Bieber is his age, he will look like he's still 20 because he'll have been taking human growth hormones and stem cells for the last 20 years at that point, you know?
Yeah.
See, now this guy, here's a photo. I'll put this up. This guy, that's his partner. that he married, just decades.
I mean,
and he was never like.
He does look amazing for 80.
He still sounds good, too. Have you heard him? I mean, he sounds really good.
But I can imagine how off-putting in real life or, even on TV where you're like, this human being's 80 years old.
Have you ever met anybody?
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why is this face so smooth? This looks like a doll.
Yeah, you ever met an old person that's had a lot of work done? And seen them in person? It is weird. Because they don't move. Their face doesn't move.
Yeah. I'm telling you, from Sugar Ray, Mark McGrath.
He had a little bit of that.
Every male turns into a lion. You get if you have enough work done, eventually you turn into an old lion.
Yeah, which is weird. I would, you know what I would do if I'm going to get it done? I would just go go ahead and make me full lion now.
Yeah,
and then
get ahead of the lion.
Yeah, and then in front of the lion.
But it's called the carrot top.
Sam's doing mom jokes now. I fucking love it.
But Mark McGrath looked younger than I did, and he's in his 50s at the time. I was in my third. When did we do that?
He did look younger than you.
You know,
he looked younger than me.
I was like 37.
He looked younger than me. He didn't look younger than you.
Dude, he looked young. He looked better than I did. I remember I saw him in person. I was like, oh my God. And it looked pretty natural. That was the best work I've ever seen. But when he's 80,
probably also wearing makeup.
Yes.
Yeah, they all do. 100%. And that's the thing with Barry Manilow. They all wear, I think most celebrities, if you're, most of them do. They take the shine down because, looking good is important.
Yeah. Have you seen our documentary? We look horrible.
Greasy fat.
Fat, red, greasy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
I want you guys to go back to that. Better time.
No, but we look like that now. It's just we're not, it's not some HD camera on our face.
No.
No, you do not look like that now.
Well, not as fat. We were fatter than
you were big Bannon.
I'm just now losing again.
Big red Bannon.
Yeah, I was, there was one picture where...
You with the eggs, with the devil eggs, and you're shaved.
Oh, yeah. It looked crazy.
Yeah.
And then there's a picture of me that Melissa uses for the video where she pans to me, and I've got little tiny titties with big fat nipples.
Oh,
what the fuck is that? How did my nipples get so big?
Yeah. We're all bigger.
Yeah,
not Sam, but we're all.
But my nipples are back to normal size now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I get fat in my nipples, I guess.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I get little poofers.
Have you ever held the amount of weight you lost and then think to yourself oh my,
my
it
joints
seems cumbersome. I'll carry around work out with 50-pound dumbbell.
They're big,
and then I'm like, my God, how is this? But it's distributed across your whole body. It had to have been because I was like, no way, I walked with this every day, 50 extra pounds.
Yeah. Oh, Tracy had a picture of me at the Science Center when Lee was working here, where I was at my absolute fattest. I look like Newman in I'm trying to hide the dinosaur ingredients from with the movie. Yeah, I look like Newman.
Barbasol.
The only thing I'm missing is a Barbasol can. All right, you want to plug and get out of here?
Ross, where are you going to be at?
You can come see me at the Bull Bush tomorrow. Apparently, D-Rug will be coming through doing some comedy for us. Check out Tots with Ross, the Atlanta talk show with me, Ross McCoy, on your favorite podcast app. We just did one with Cap Wright. I know he's been in with you guys. Cap's one of my favorites. We talk about Killdozer quite extensively on that episode.
Killdozer.
Oh, yeah, dude. We get into it on the Orlando talk show with me, Ross McCoy. And do me a favor, 11/27, the 27th of this month. That's post Thanksgiving. I think it's the Monday after Thanksgiving. Come out to Will's Pub. See me and Larry Fulford putting on Dan's personal favorite comedy show. What do you want from us live? It's going to be a lot of fun.
I want to try to go to this.
It's me and Larry and a few great I can't think of the lineup right now, but I do know as a special musical guest from Virginity, Casey Crawford.
Nice.
No shit.
He's going to be our musical guest, and as we speak, I am in negotiations with him to learn Blinding Lights for whatever reason, Dan.
Oh, I know why. And I'm going to do everything in my power to be there.
27th at Will's Pub. It'll be a lot of fun.
Come hang with me. I haven't been to Will's in a minute.
Sam, are you recording this weekend?
Recorded last night. We just recorded some. You heard about this one, so we'll have one of those releasing on this Sunday. Also, we have an after party coming out, which is our show from Patreon. That'll be coming out today, I believe. So if you want to check, we kind of got off schedule a little bit because Trav and I both got sick, so we're trying to get back into the routine. Just go to semanticspodcast.com. Everything's there.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys at the Beer Fest tomorrow and Sofa and Suds on Sunday.
Come on out and hang with us. We'd love to see you. We're trying to give away all these cups, so if you're coming out and you got friends that want to come out, plenty of cups for everybody. Come on out.
Yep, and we'll see the BDMs on Monday.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.